It's a good thing, Link, we're inside this Dome Stadium, the old Dome here, 41 years of age, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, former New Orleans Superdome, because outside it is stifling hot and humid. 88 degrees, but 70% humidity makes it feel like it's close to 100 degrees. But with the air conditioning on, Link, it is almost ideal, perfect football conditions today, with the exception of the playing surface here. You and I were watching, walking around before the game, Link. It is spongy, a lot of lumps in it. This is not a state-of-the-art field turf, and it will probably play slow today. How long this new field turf is here, Link?
Well, let's hope it plays slow for both teams, because if the Raiders are going to play slow, hopefully the Saints play slow. We'll see how it goes.
All right, New Orleans has chosen to wear white at home. They are the home team, so they can do what they like. They're going to put the Raiders in their home black jerseys on the road. Sebastian Janikowski will kick away. C.J. Spiller is surprising and active today, so it will be Marcus Murphy, the second-year running back, who will return their kickoffs today, and he also will return their punts. He averaged 25 yards a kick. Happy New Year. We're underway from New Orleans, 2016 underway, and Janikowski will pick up a touchback, even though that was not the goal time. He was trying to sky kick that about 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone, but Marcus Murphy was in the middle. It took him so long to get over to catch that ball, it bounced and rolled by him, and the Raiders will get a touchback, but the Saints will start on their 25-yard line.
Yeah, 25-yard line, which is new this year. Any ball that goes in the end zone, that's why a lot of teams are trying to sky kick it so that they can get the guys inside the 20. 1st and 10 for Drew Brees. Mark Ingram, the former Heisman winner from Alabama, will start as the lone back. They're going to motion Brandon Cooks from the Bay Area. The wide receiver out left. They go to a heavy tight end formation. 13 personnel, 3 tight ends. A play action. Brees back, throws, and it's off the back of the head of Malcolm Smith, who dropped into coverage there against Kobe Fleener. So New Orleans, and Drew Brees is the quarterback, but Sean Payton is the architect of this offense. They went to 1 back, 3 tight ends, and tried to hit the Raiders with a corner route there to Fleener, and the ball hit Malcolm Smith right in the back of his silver helmet. Yeah, Fleener was well covered on that one. There was about 4 black jerseys around him. Now the Raiders go to a nickel defense. Brees throws, outcut left side, tipped away by Sean Smith. Good coverage there on Brandon Cooks as Drew Brees comes out flinging to open the game. New Orleans offensively, Teron Armstead, a great player, but hobbled by a knee throughout the preseason. Their left tackle, Andrews Pete from Stanford. The left guard, Max Unger, one of the best centers in pro football. Jari Evans is back at right guard, and Zach Streif will have the assignment of blocking Khalil Mack here on 3rd down and 10. So 2 Drew Brees passes to open the game, both incomplete. And he has the highest accuracy percentage in the history of the NFL, but he's 0 for 2. Brees on 3rd down. Has time. Cox does not throw. Now hit. Fumbles the ball away, and the Raiders may have it on the 20-yard line. Bruce Irvin got him from behind. The Raiders have recovered the fumble, Link, on the New Orleans 20-yard line. That was a coverage sack. Brees had nowhere to go. He cocked looking to his left. He pumped. Nothing was there. Look middle. Irvin got him from the blind side. He fumbled the ball, and the Raiders rookie Jihad Ward recovered it on the Saints 20-yard line. Well, that's what has to happen when you know that they're going to pay attention to Mack on the other side. They had 2 guys, one bumping Mack, and then another guy sliding over to almost triple team. And that left Bruce Irvin all alone, one-on-one.
Yeah, that's right, Coach. That time Street was a right tackle. He's blocking Irvin. Irvin came underneath, and with the time, the coverage down the field was able to come back from behind the Drew Brees and knock that ball loose.
And the Raiders did rush Khalil Mack over Armstead to check out that bad knee. Irvin came over Zach Streif. Raiders go into a true eye. Jameis Alloway ahead of Latavius Murray. A stretch run coming left, turned back inside by the corner. Bro, a flag comes from the secondary. It's going to be a hold here. Presumably, Link, on the Raiders.
Yeah.
So hold on the first offensive play of the new year as they tried to run Murray out of an eye set.
Number 15.
It's on Michael Crabtree.
1st down.
Crabtree was trying to block Delvin Breaux, that physical corner, Link, who actually made the tackle on Murray.
And he got his hands outside and was grabbing the jersey. Really, he's calling for the refs.
Well, the Raiders drop now, Tom, outside the 30 on the 31-yard line. So the down and distance now becomes challenging. 1st and 20 Raiders. We are just 30 seconds into the new year, and the Raiders already have a takeaway. Derek goes into the shotgun. They have 3 receivers right, Cooper, Crabtree, and Roberts. Look at the motion. Tywan Jones out wide right. Empty set on 1st and 20. Check down. Jones surrounded by 3 white jerseys. Deeks the linebacker Craig Robertson, but New Orleans was all over it. But right away, Bill Musgrave, Tom, he likes to get Taiwan Jones in space there. He was behind the 3-by side, motioned him out outside the numbers, but New Orleans had their whole linebacking core waiting for him.
Yeah, this took a long time. You know, this was not, it wasn't a screen pass, so there was no protection for Taiwan. Once he got the ball, there was nobody blocking in front of him.
Latavius Murray back in on 2nd and 19. Raiders on the New Orleans 30. Carr encased in the gun. Murray to one side, Clive Walford the other. Amari Cooper singled up right, a slot left. Seth Roberts inside of Michael Crabtree. Will Dennis Allen bring pressure here, showing only a 3-man front. He's going to drop 8. It's a gun run, a draw to Latavius Murray, and not a lot there behind the Raiders' new offensive line. Donald Penn starts at left tackle, Kelechi Osemele at left guard, Rodney Hudson at center, Gabe Jackson at right guard, and Menelik Watson at right tackle length. They tried to show a passing formation there and gun run them, and even though New Orleans only had a 3-man front, the Raiders could not move their front.
No, and you're right, and they were ready for it. They were preparing, they were calling out screen and draw. I could hear from the sideline, so Musgrave's going to have to get a little bit more imaginative with play calling to really stretch out this defense.
3rd and 18 on the New Orleans 29. Carr in the gun. Clive Walford to his left, Murray to his right. Cooper singled up right, slot left. Roberts inside of Crabtree. New Orleans showing 4 down linemen. They drop 7. Quick throw out right to Amari Cooper. He dropped the ball out of bounds. He caught it and then fumbled the ball, so they will give him the catch time, but he just dropped the ball. But you're not going to get much yardage on that. The New Orleans was playing so deep. They had it all covered top down, so that's not a good offensive series to begin the year. As Amari was swinging his right arm, that's why he dropped the ball.
Yep.
But to take over on their 21-yard line and get nothing, not a good offensive start.
Well, to lose yardage on that. At that time, the New Orleans had 6 guys, 6 defenders about 20 yards down the field, all lined up, almost like in a prevent defense.
47-yard field goal for Janikowski. Good snap by Kondo King. The hold, and Janikowski will split the uprights, and the Raiders do get 3 out of it, but they took over almost in the red zone to start the year on the 21, and they go backwards and settle for just 3. But the Raiders do have the early lead here. Raiders 3, Saints nothing. A heavy set. Tom actually brought in a 3rd offensive tackle on the first play of the game. Tried to hit the Raider linebacking core, but he hit Malcolm Smith in the back of the helmet. So we'll see what he does here on the 2nd series. Janikowski will kick away from the 35-yard line, of course. Murphy back in the New Orleans end zone. This time he knows Janikowski will kick it to his right. It'll bounce to the 1-yard line. Almost went out of bounds. Murphy up the right sideline waving, and the Raiders bury him inside the 10-yard line. Textbook. Taiwan Jones got down there, but Tom, really it was a avalanche of black jerseys all over him, and it looked like that ball may have bounced out of bounds, but Murphy was not going to go out of bounds. What a great kickoff there by Janikowski.
Yeah, that was almost that was perfect, because that ball was going to bounce into the end zone, but he would have let it. It would have been better if he had let it go in the end zone, but I think he was worried that it was going to check up there.
Yeah, Darren Bates also was down, a Raider who was a great special team player with the St. Louis, now turned LA Rams. So 1st and 10 for New Orleans. Drive start not good on their 11. Brees a short drop, runs a slant, and it's knocked out of there by Sean Smith. Great coverage on Brandon Cooks. Their small wide receiver had a terrific 2nd year in the NFL. And that is Sean Smith, Link, using his physicality, just his size there around the smaller Brandon Cooks to reach around him and knock that ball away at 6'4". He's the biggest corner now in the NFL.
Once again, the Saints showed heavy personnel and tried to throw with a quick throw. So we'll see, trying to catch the defense off guard.
They've come out throwing to open the game. 2nd down 10. Drew Brees, a straight drop, 5 steps, middle, check down to Ingram in the back. And David Amerson able to grab him around the thigh pad and hold him just shy of the 1st down by a couple of yards as he's out to around the 20-yard line. Mark Ingram became more of a pass catcher last year as he caught 50 passes out of the backfield. He'll be their featured back today. Tim Hightower and Travaris Cadet will also run. Interestingly, C.J. Spiller healthy and active today, not dressing for the game. 3rd down and 1 for New Orleans on their 20-yard line. They go into a true eye. John Kuhn, the former Packer, now a Saint fullback. They give it to him on the blast play, and he's got it. They will give it to him. They're cooning even here in New Orleans, Tom. We're so used to hearing that at Lambeau for years. They just gave him the belly, the dive, the blast there to the fullback to pick up the Saints' first down of the year.
Yeah, that's definitely his specialty. When he's in the ball game, that's and it's short yardage. You can expect him to move the pile.
Raiders started Justin Ellis on the nose. He's now out. Danico Autry is in. The Raiders going to run their nickel defense now with DJ Hayden in. Again, Keith McGill started at safety, still playing strong safety. Reggie Nelson playing free safety. 1st and 10 New Orleans on their own 22. Raiders up 3-0. We played not even 4 minutes yet. Here's Brees, a run to Ingram up the middle. Heaney gets blocked. Big hole. Reggie Nelson length finally makes the tackle on the New Orleans 35 after a gain of 13 yards. The middle linebacker, Heaney, came up to fill, but he got blasted there.
Well, that's what happens against this power running game. Here's the thing, that you have a fullback in the backfield or you have a tight end against these undersized linebackers who need to go side to side. It's going to be a disadvantage for this defense. It's plagued them all preseason. It's starting to plague them now.
It almost looked like Heaney was trying to take on that lead blocker time to take Kuhn out of the play, but nobody filled in behind. Here's Drew Brees in the shotgun now. Empty set. No backs behind him. Straight drop out of the gun. As time looks middle. Caught. It's caught by Willie Snead, their nickelback, and he has a first down out to the 45-yard line. Well, they're giving you everything, Tom. They're giving you a heavy set. They're giving you an empty set. They're going to get everything from Drew Brees in this New Orleans offense today.
Yeah, well, he's you know, you have to be a very experienced quarterback in order to have all these multiple sets, and he's the guy. He knows it all.
He signed a 1-year contract extension, so he's obligated contractually for 2 more years here in New Orleans. 1st and 10, Saints 46-yard line. There's a wide run to Traverse Cadet. Well played there by Keith McGill, making the start at strong safety today. Of course, he played safety, began his college career at Cerritos Junior College down in Orange County, and then on to University of Utah, where they converted him to corner his final year after a shoulder injury. But the Raiders see him as a safety, Tom, and he's a shocking starter today. Carl Joseph not quite over his knee problem. Nate Allen will sub in a lot today, but Reggie Nelson, the free safety, and Keith McGill is your starting strong safety, and he held that to only a gain of a yard. He is a physical, long-armed safety. 2nd and 9 for Drew Brees on the New Orleans 47. The Raiders up 3-0. Brees out of the shotgun, looks right, throws again. Snead wide open inside the Raider 40. Nobody bumped out to pick him up. He's the slot receiver there. He picks up 16 yards. I think they had a linebacker over him, Tom, and he was able to beat Malcolm Smith easily.
Yeah, Malcolm Smith was out there over him. He was trying to take him on, and he just juked him and cut to the inside. There was a lot of space.
Raiders link with New Orleans runs that 3-receiver formation. They want to run their penny defense where they have DJ Hayden on the field, 3 cornerbacks and 1 safety. Hard to put Malcolm Smith on him. New Orleans inside the Raider 40. There's a straight ahead run to Ingram inside the Raider 35 and dropped on the Raider 33-yard line. So New Orleans playing with a nice offensive tempo here, and they've been able to move this drive. Remember, they started right around their 10-yard line. Raiders have been rotating their defensive front in a lot. Dan Williams is now in along with Darius Latham and Jihad Ward, Khalil Mack, and Shalik Calhoun now in for Irvin. Play action by Brees. They roll the pocket. It's a screen coming back left. Blockers out in front. Ingram 20. Hit by Sean Smith. Runs right through that tackle and picks up 5 more yards. All the way to the 12-yard line. They love to run the screen. Brees was so good at time his years in San Diego. Even better here in New Orleans as they fake the bootleg right, and it's a throwback screen left to Ingram for a gain of 20 yards.
Yeah, that was just a well-timed screen. They do this very well. Because they throw the ball so much, the screens are going to be very effective, and that was on kind of like a half-roll screen and throwing back to the left.
And Brees just has tremendous footwork. Great tennis player. 3-step drop, now pressured, spins away from a sack, throws the ball on the ground as he had the tight end Hill as a check down. So I think he got out wide enough, Link, to avoid the grounding. And the Raiders got some heat on him and twisted him away. You want to pressure Drew Brees because he's under 6 feet tall, Link, right in the A gap where it makes it hard for him to see.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And that time he even had a back out in the backfield, so it wouldn't have been grounding anyways because there was a receiver in the area. But much of what you're saying, you got to get pressure in his face and get it quickly because you give this quarterback time, he'll pick you apart.
2nd and 10, New Orleans on the Raider 13-yard line. Drew Brees going to send the slot receiver Cooks in motion. They give it a Kuhn on the dive, the fullback blast, and he picks up just a couple. Well, they've tried everything offensively. So Pete Carmichael's first 15-play menu, Tom, expansive. A little bit of everything here.
A little bit of everything, even a little bit with Kuhn carrying the ball twice.
Yeah, a little bit. Going from a heavy set, fullback dives and blasts, to empty sets. Drew Brees can run it all. There's a big down and distance. New Orleans, since Peyton and Brees came in together, the best third down converting team in the league, 47%. This is a 3rd and 8 on the Raider 11. Brees in the gun as Travaris Cadet to his left, 3 receivers right. There's a twist. Autry comes through. Brees has to ground the ball.
Nobody there.
He did not get it back to the line of scrimmage here.
No.
This could be intentional grounding.
They were trying to set up a screen, guys, so he could throw it in the ground.
But there was nobody out there, was there, Tom?
Oh,
here comes the flag from Scott Perry, our referee.
Right.
This will make the field goal 10 yards further out.
Yeah, there was no receiver. The receiver was on the ground. He was down on the ground.
Bruce Irvin threw him down, Coach.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they didn't call
holding on that.
Yeah.
And he also did not get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Here's our referee, John Perry.
Number 9, offense. The quarterback was out of the pocket, but the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
By rule, loss of down, 4th down.
So it'll just make the field goal 10 yards further away for Will Lutz. A shocking move this week. The Saints cut Connor Barth or Kai Forbath after he beat out Connor Barth in a close race to be the kicker. You lose track of all the New Orleans kickers. Since Sean Payton's been here now 11 years, they've gone through 11 different kickers. So this is Will Lutz. Baltimore had him in camp. Very impressive. They had him at a tryout this week, and he just out-kicked it all. And Sean Payton said it's the most impressive kicking workout he's ever seen. This will be his first field goal attempt in the NFL. Made just 31 of 46 at Georgia State, a small school. He's in the dome here. Obviously no wind to speak of or elements. It'll be a 42-yarder, right-footed kicker from the right hash. Justin Drescher, their longtime long snapper, and Thomas Morstead, their punter, will hold, trying to tie the game at 3. 42-yarder. Ball is down. Lutz has it away, and his first kick in the NFL is good. And the New Orleans Saints with an impressive drive, but they did stall inside the red zone, tie the game at 3. New Orleans had a 13-play drive, 78 yards, 5:52 off the clock. They did stall inside the red zone, and they settled for Will Lutz's first field goal in the NFL, a 42-yarder to tie the game at 3. Lutz will kick off here. I think part of the reason they made the change to cut Kai Forbath is Morstead has been their kickoff guy, but he's more of a straight line guy, and you don't want to do that this year. They want to move the ball and make these returners come out of the end zone, and Lutz should be able to sky this short. Tywan Jones will take it about 6 yards in the field of play, running up, tries to get wide right after starting left, dancing around. A flag is down. 3 flags come down. So multiple holds on the Raiders there. Tywan, Tom, only had 1 kickoff return of the preseason, the 33-yarder against the Titans, and he came up that left seam. I don't know if Sealy called a right return or not, but he tried to reverse his field, started dancing, and it turned into a disaster.
Yeah, dancing is not something you want to do on a kickoff. Kickoff, the returners that are really effective get the ball and just take off. No moves, maybe 1 step and you're gone. If it's not there, you still keep going and
There's 2
try
fouls on the play, both on the return team. Both are holding. 27 decline. 57 accepted, half the distance to the goal.
Yeah,
First and 10.
Not a good way to start a drive.
Now 2 holds. 27 is Reggie Nelson, 57 Corey James. Raider drive start will be inside their 10 when we come back. Even though they took over on the 21 of New Orleans after the hold by Michael Crabtree, that drive was early in the drive aborted. Latavius the lone back. They give it to him off the left side. A cut back middle. Gets hit low by Kenny Vaccaro and dropped. Murray gets up, though, hit him around the knees on the 12 or 13-yard line, so a gain of about 4. Second down and 6 coming up. New Orleans defensively. Nick Fairley, defensive tackle, former Lion and Ram, anchors their front along with Tyler Davison, Cameron Jordan, former Cal Bear Pro Bowler, and they just got Paul Kruger after the Browns cut him this week. 2nd and 6. Raiders on their 13. Carr under center. Tight formation. Crabtree goes in long motion left. Lee Smith tight right. And now a flag comes down and a pre-snap penalty before the false start on the Raiders. Somebody moving that front leg.
Offense number 86.
On Lee Smith. Although Derek kept him up on the line of scrimmage a long time there.
Not very loud down here, but as you mentioned, just keeping them on the line. Miscommunication, nervous energy. Derek's got to do a better job of orchestrating it. It looked like Lee was lost for a little bit, didn't know what the play was called before Derek wanted to start motion. So
are the Raiders going to use a silent count today, Link?
I don't know. I have not heard anything yet, but I'll check into it. 2nd
down 11. DeAndre Washington makes his Raider debut. He's in the Carr's right in the gun. There's Derek looking left, wide receiver screen out to Amari Cooper, and he's tripped up and dropped there by the corner, P.J. Williams. Just trying to get him out in space. P.J. Williams missed all of last year with a hamstring injury, was on IR. They are vulnerable in the secondary. Delvin Breaux played last year, played well, but he's a young guy. P.J. Williams, his first NFL game, along with Devontae Harris down their nickel corner. The Raiders feel like the Saints are vulnerable in the secondary.
Well, if they're vulnerable, then we ought to be throwing the ball down in the secondary.
Well, right now they're only rushing a couple and dropping everybody back.
Yeah, they are not bringing pressure. Dennis Allen, we thought he blitzed Derek early on. He's been rushing 3 and dropping 8, or 4 and dropping 7. Jalen Richard is in. He stacks behind Amari Cooper on 3rd down and 7. Carr backpedaling, throws, caught by Richard for a Raider first down out to the 20-yard line. They ran him in a stacked position, Tom. Richard, who is from the state of Louisiana, behind Amari Cooper. He ran an outcut there and was able to pick up. That ball was thrown low when he just got the bottom point of the ball to pick up 8. They barely beat the clock there. They snapped that with 1 second on the play clock.
Yeah, that time they did come with a little bit of a blitz. They had 5 guys coming, and there was one of them, the defenders was free, and Derek did a nice job of getting rid of the ball.
Raiders first down of the year, 1st and 10, 20-yard line, straight 7-step drop, looks right, Cox now middle, crossing route, wide open there, caught by Amari Cooper into New Orleans territory, and finally dropped on the 44-yard line. Boy, a gaping hole right in the middle of their front, Tom, as Derek wanted to go with a quick pass after a 7-step drop out to his right, but it was taken away there, and then he wanted to go to Seth Roberts, came back middle, and Amari just flashed right in the middle of their defense for a huge gain of 35 yards.
Yeah, he beat him P.J. Williams on an in cut, just a square in cut, and very good patience by Carr on that one, waiting for him to develop.
Now the ball's on the right hash mark. The Raiders have a wide bunch formation of the numbers left. DeAndre Washington for the quarterback's right in the gun. It's a gun run. DeAndre middle, and he gets sledgehammered back by James Laurinaitis and Craig Robertson. Link a gain of about 3. So that's the way to soften the defensive box, to go to a bunch formation outside the numbers, far from the right hash to the left side, to get DeAndre Washington some room on that gun run.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we'll see if we can tell against a possible bubble screen. They looked like they were going to go to at that time, but gave the run to Washington.
And when D.A. was the coach of the Raiders, they were plagued by bubble screens. His last game as the Raider coach in London, they could not stop a bubble screen of the Dolphins. This is a 2nd down, 5 coming up. Raiders on the New Orleans 40. Latavius Murray back in the lone back play action. Alawali left flats there. Carr going to go for the end zone. He overthrew, but Cooper made the catch. Inside the 10. What a catch by Amari Cooper. The ball was overthrown, but Amari, reaching way over the top of his helmet, pulled that down for a 34-yard gain down to the Saints' 6-yard line.
Yeah, just a great catch by Amari Cooper. The lone wide receiver split out to the right side, ran all the way across the field on a deep cross, and just makes a great catch going up in the air.
Well, that was a zone defense link. They completely dropped the coverage there on Amari Cooper. And the Raiders are inside the red zone. They have reached the Buffalo Wild Wings red zone. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. 1st down, goal to go, 6-yard line. Carr in the gun, Murray to his left. Gun run coming right. Inside the 5, Murray, touchdown! Raiders! Just powered in. Opened up wide, Link in the middle of the front. He was contacted on the 2. Latavius does run high, but the Tay train ran right over the Saints defense and powered into the end zone.
Well, there's no doubt about great call on that, but also great blocking up front. What the boys did up front is they blocked the front 7. The first person to make contact, what you want in this situation is a safety, and for Murray to use his strength and size to overpower him, get in the end zone. Big run.
Boy, Tom, he ran right over James Laurinaitis, who had more tackles in Rams history than anybody. He just ran right over him like he's a blocking sled.
Yeah, he sure did. He put it right on his rear end and then on his back. Just incredible strength. For a guy that runs so high, that's incredible strength.
Here's the point after by Janikowski. Do I hear a little Raiders?
You betcha.
Like the old days,
That's
Link.
right. Good old times.
Where's
baby.
Andre Rison? Timmy, let's check the Raider Drive summary brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. For a limited time, get double points on over 225 items throughout the store. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices, better parts every day. What a drive. 7 plays, 91 yards for the Raiders. 4:48 off the clock. Latavius Murray with a 6-yard touchdown run. It could possibly be a injury-related drive, though. We'll get you an update in a moment. Here's the kickoff, and Murphy will take a right knee. So it's a touchback for Sebastian Janikowski. Gabe Jackson may have gotten hurt on that drive. Link will give us a report when we come back, as the Saints will take over on their 25 when we come back. First and 10, New Orleans on their 25. Brees, a stretch run to Ingram coming wide, cuts inside. Emerson plays that well, and the Raiders hold that to a short gain. Malcolm Smith in the middle made the tackle along with Ben Heaney. By the way, the Raiders have given the green dot helmet today to Malcolm Smith, who wore it most of last year. Curtis Lofton had it early in the year, and then they gave it to Malcolm. It was going to be Ben Heaney in the preseason. They've given it to Malcolm, who figures to play every single down today. 2nd down and 7. Late opening quarter. Raiders up 10-3. Brees in the shotgun. They go empty set. Raiders rushing wide. A wide look on the front. Brees now audibilizing at the line. Play clock at 7, 6, 5. Holds him a long time. Now he comes. Throws a quick one out. Caught by Snead on the outcut. And he's run out there by Keith McGill, making the start at strong safety. The Raiders went to a wide front time, looking to rush the quarterback there. I think we realized that Drew Brees is going to fling it around today.
Well, he's going to fling it around like he always does every Sunday with very little running. They had a little game going through. They had a little game going through on the defensive right side, and the game just took too long to get there.
Now the Saints go to a short yardage on a 3rd and 1. They bring in the fullback John Kuhn, the longtime Packer there, 9 years. Tim Hightower, he runs high. A lot like the Raiders' Murray. They send Big Coleman, the receiver, in motion. They give it a Hightower, and he powers right behind Zach Street and the right side of their offensive line to pick up the 1st down there. So 1st down. They also looked like they brought the left guard, Andres Pete Link, over to the right side. So they went to an unbalanced line to their right there, and he ran right behind Pete.
Well, they ran a power, good old-fashioned power out of that, and the offensive line did a good job of moving the Raiders around and getting that 1st down.
That will be the last play of the 1st quarter. Brees has him up on the line, but the quarter will expire. Raiders forced a turnover right away, got 3 points out of it. New Orleans, a nice drive, tied it at 3, but the Raiders have a 10-3 lead at the end of 1 quarter. 1st and 10, New Orleans on their 37. Out of an eye, they give it a Hightower coming left. Cut back, gets hit on the backside by Khalil Mack. And they ran that outside stretch run time in the cutback. They didn't block Khalil on the backside, and he was able to hold that down, but they did move the Raider front for a gain of about 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Saints.
Yeah, it's that backside leverage you have to have. That's the cutback that we got burned on all preseason long, with starting out on the stretch and then cutting back to the right side.
Now the Saints go empty. Travers Cadet, the back, lines up as a left slot, so it's a 2-by-2 formation. Also Kobe Fleener, so 3 right and 2 left. 2nd and 5. Brees left, pumps, goes down the sideline, going at Sean Smith. Caught by Willie Snead. Anybody push him out of bounds? Apparently not. He's all the way inside the Raider 10-yard line. He caught it at around the 25, and no one pushed him out. And they went right over the top at Sean Smith. Willie Snead will line up inside, also outside, ran a slight nod inside, and it looked like Reggie Nelson or Smith could recover time to push him out. Neither guy ever did.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy than you anticipate. He's got some pretty good. He's not very heavy, but he looks heavier than they have him listed.
49-yard gain, finally down inside the red zone on the 9-yard line. Saints go to a different looking offset fullback left out of the gun. Brees throws out right, caught. Cooks, look at him dance right around Bruce Irvin out in space. That's a mismatch to put your linebacker time, your Sam linebacker out in space on that little guy at 5'10", and he just crossed him over, and Irvin went down. The Raiders did rally to keep him out of the end zone, but they're on the Raider 5-yard line.
Right now, guys, this is all Drew Brees. He's going up. He's going pre-snap looks. He's adjusting the protection as well as the routes. He is doing this all on his own, guys.
And Bruce Irvin did slip, Link, on this really long field turf. This is long and lumpy, the worst field turf I've seen in years. Like when they first went to the field turf years ago. Brees in the gun, 2-by-2 formation, including Fleener, who's tight left. Brees looking end zone, going to lob. Over, go back of the end zone, caught, out of bounds though. Thought he was going to the inside guy on the in cut, But he went to the running back out of the backfield, Cadet, Tom, on the corner route. And apparently did not get both feet in bounds. The rookie receiver, Thomas, ran the in cut. He was calling for the ball. And Cadet, the running back, who was a receiver earlier in his pro football career, could not get that second foot down. He got the left one down, but not the right. Clearly out of bounds. So 3rd down and goal for the Saints on the Raider 5. Brees in the gun. Mark Ingram now into his left. 2-by-2 formation. Fleener is upright right. Brees back. Pumps, looks, throws. Caught by Cooks. Tackled shy of the end zone. He got hit there by Malcolm Smith and finished off by Keith McGill and DJ Hayden. Now what does Sean Payton do, Tom? It looks like he may go for it here.
Well, it looks like it. They're not hurrying the field goal team in.
4th down.
So they're thinking about it.
I think he's going to go for it.
He's giving the green light to Brees.
Now you know what Brees is going to say. Let me have one more shot. 4th down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. They're going for it here. And they break the huddle. Brees under center now. Ingram is an eye back. They stack Snead and Cooks. They move Fleener in motion left. Big receiver Coleman singled up right. And movement pre-snap. Do the Raiders jump or do they fix against the Raiders?
Encroachment on defense.
All right, they'll give them a yard. It'll make it a 4th and goal to go from the 1. Now they could run it. There's John Perry.
Number 91.
Shalik Calhoun, first NFL game, jump time. So now as a play caller, this changes everything when you're going from the 2-yard line as opposed to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, the changes, and they had a little, that was pretty sneaky on the offense because they had an offensive guy that was kind of moving laterally.
And Armstead, the left tackle, looked like he moved Link.
Yeah, but they're going to say that the defense drew him off.
Now hold on. John Perry going to whistle it down here.
Saints called a timeout.
Timeout called by New Orleans. So this is a big difference here. And by moving Fleener in motion, Tom, over Shalik Calhoun, I think that's why the rookie lurched.
Well, he moved over, and then when he got there, he kind of did a double take, a little jerky move that pulled him off.
Well, now they're balanced. They can do either thing, Link, which changes your front. It changes everything here. They could line up in an eye and run Ingram or Hightower, or they could play action and throw it here. So that 1 yard changes everything defensively. If it's 4th and goal from the 2 with Brees, you're thinking pass. Now you don't know.
Well, I mean, you're wise to say that, but I honestly think that Brees wants to throw the ball, and it looks like they're coming in with their power formation,
and
their heavy
Ingram's
formation.
coming in. Tim Belito.
Yep.
They're going to go to the 3rd tackle look, Link. They use him like the Raiders will use Matt McCants today.
Certainly.
As a 3rd tackle. Let's see if they go unbalanced here. Brees is so good pulling it out, Tom. Of course, in San Diego, he had Gates.
Yep.
And he had, Jeremy Shockey here and Jimmy Graham. He doesn't quite have that with Fleener.
Raiders have problems getting lined up. Raiders at the count to see if they have 11 guys.
Nobody's covering Willie Snead.
Issues.
Willie Snead is uncovered. Now finally they get Reggie Nelson over. It's an offset eye. Kuhn and Ingram a play action. Brees going to throw. Caught. Touchdown right on the goal line. It went to Willie Snead. Well, initially, nobody picked him up, Tom. Link, how were they so disorganized on the goal line after a timeout?
Well, when they came in with that heavy formation, the Raiders tried to change personnel, but I don't know how they got confused. Everybody was calling out who was supposed to be in, who was not. They got confused on who was covering who. As you mentioned, Reggie Nelson had to go out there. It was really disorganized.
Well, did they have enough guys on the field?
That's what I was asking.
Well, Willie Snead was uncovered to start, and then they ran kind of a pick play. It was a zone. Kobe Fleener ran off Keith McGill, but it was a zone on the goal line, Tom. But they weren't aligned properly at the start of the play. It was chaos.
Well, it was chaos to start with, and I'm not sure they had enough guys on the field.
They only had 10 on the field?
They only had 10 on the field.
Point after is made by Will Lutz, so New Orleans answers back with a touchdown drive after the Raider touchdown drive, and we expected a shootout. Rangers in week 4 and the Chiefs in week 5. Right now they're going to deal with Drew Brees, the former San Diego Charger quarterback. 9-play, 75-yard drive. He hit 49-yarder to Willie Snead over the top of Sean Smith, and Snead scored the touchdown on the 1-yarder. And now here comes the kickoff from Will Lutz. Raiders drop Tywan Jones back deep in the Raider end zone. They've changed ends, obviously, in the second quarter. They will kick from north to south. Raiders are wearing their home black jerseys on the road, with the Saints electing to go with their white jerseys, gold pants, the gold helmets with the fleur-de-lis. Here's the kickoff by Lutz, short kickoff. Jones comes running up, takes it on the 8, left, 10, 15, 20, 30, almost to the 30-yard line. A flag came in, and maybe on the tackle there. The tackler got him high around the head. That is Aaron Harris, one of their many safeties on the roster. Maybe grabbed a...
Holding Raiders.
Is it? I got a little excited there. That Harris may have called for it, but they blocked again in the back.
During the return,
There's John Perry.
holding, return team number 56, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Called on Darren Bates, who the Raiders kept on the 53 this year because of his special teams prowess. So at right guard, Link, it is Gabe Jackson.
Yeah.
What'd you say? They braced up his left knee?
They put a brace on his left knee, but he seems to be fine. So I think it was just that somebody fell on his leg and thrown him off the last series. We'll see how he does. I'll keep an eye on it.
All right. And it would be Feliciano to come in at right guard if they have to. Derek's under center. Lone back Latavius Murray. Crabtree right. Cooper left. Play action. Derek back. Pressured throws. Incomplete. He threw that behind Crabtree. A fly comes in. They're going to get a PI, I think, on Delvin Breaux, the corner here. Although that pass was behind Michael Crabtree, Tom, on the slant.
Sure was, yeah. That was just a little play action with a slant.
Pass interference, defense number 40. Spot foul, automatic 1st down.
Not a big game, but the Raiders will take it. Delvin Breaux is by far their best corner, a physical press corner. And a scary incident in high school. He broke his neck playing high school football. Did not allow him to play college football at all. So he had to go to Canada for a long time. He was a big, tall corner at 6'1". And he got a little grabby there with Crabtree. Raiders go 3 wide receivers. Seth Roberts is in. Crabtree goes in motion. Murray the lone back. There's a handoff to Murray coming right behind the Raider right side of the line length. And they also pulled Osemele over there from left guard, but not a lot of movement against this New Orleans front. That gained nothing.
Well, Robertson for the New Orleans Saints did well. He was the linebacker that shot the gap, and Osemele was pulling. That's his responsibility. But unfortunately, Robinson beat him to the point before Osemele was able to get there.
As Craig Robertson, who was starting at the weak side linebacker, the former Cleveland Browner, they bought it in free agency. Donnell Ellerby is out today with a quad injury. Raiders go 4 wide receivers now as they bring in Andre Holmes along with Robertson, Cooper, and Crabtree. They go empty set. 2 are right, 3 are left. There's a blitz by Laurinaitis, a throw out, and the ball knocked away. They're going to Amari Cooper. Well played there by the young corner, Jimmy Williams, Tom, reaching around to Amari Cooper with the right hand, climbing up his back on the short route out to the right side. Williams playing his first NFL game today. P.J. Williams just knocked that ball away.
Yeah, well played, and it was almost interference there, looked like by the defense, but well played by the defense. Just a very short route. It would only been about a 2-yard gain anyway.
That time the Saints and Dennis Allen, their coordinator, did blitz the middle linebacker, James Laurinaitis. 3rd down. 3rd and 10, Raiders here. There's Carr in the gun. Here's a blitz. They bring a lot of pressure. Carr back, runs away from it. He can run for the 1st down here. Maybe dives for it. Over the top. Did not go out of bounds. Did he pick up the 1st down? What a play by Derek Carr.
Yeah, I think he did.
What a play, Link. He vaulted right over the would-be tackler, right at the yard to gain on the 35, and he jumped right over the pile to pick up the 1st down.
That right there shows you why this team believes in Derek Carr, because he's willing to do whatever it takes to have success. Big play by the quarterback.
Wow, he looked like Marcus Allen there, Coach.
He sure
Don't
did.
do that ever again.
I'll tell you, you hold your breath when your quarterback does that.
And he had to go into a tuck and roll to stick the landing there. He jumped and had to roll right over on his neck. What a play by Carr. Here's a toss sweep. Alawale blocking the wrong way, Link. And there's a hold. Taiwan Jones is dancing too much, and he gets stuffed for a huge loss.
Taiwan Jones is going to be called for a face mask, too. He grabbed the defender's face mask.
That was a bunch crunch sweep with a fullback lead there, Link, but Delvin Breaux just threw Alawale away.
Face mask, offense number 22.
So you got it. It's on Taiwan Jones.
Replay, 1st down.
Well, how many yards is this going to lose? What a terrible play that was.
No, he tried to break inside, but there was nobody. There was no hole to the inside. That's why he had to bounce to the outside, and in doing so, he grabbed the face mask.
Alawale just missed his block on the corner. Delvin Breaux just threw him away.
But there was way too much penetration on the inside. They didn't even seal the edge, so there was no way for Taiwan to go. Even if Alawale had a chance to get his block, there was still no place for him to go.
All right, so it's 2nd and 25. Is that right, or 2nd and 20? Scoreboard says, I think they're back 10 yards. Scoreboard, 2nd and 18. 2nd and 18. Carr under center. Murray, the lone back. They'll run it right behind Lee Smith. He moves the linebacker Robertson and picks up yardage past the original line of scrimmage, out to around the 38-yard line. So it'll bring up a third down and about 8 here for the Raiders, just trying to make this third down more manageable. But we're seeing everything from Dennis Allen. Tom, it was Derek Carr's coach's first 4 games of the NFL. A lot of plays. He's rushed 3, dropped 8, rushed 4, dropped 7. Last play when Derek scrambled, he brought a jailhouse blitz. Everybody came. DeAndre Washington is in. He's to the right of Derek in the shotgun. Third down coming up for the Raiders here. Third and about 10. They're showing a 3-man pressure. They blitz Laurinaitis. They blitz Roman Harper. Carr being chased out by Cameron Jordan. The flag comes down. Are they holding the line length?
Yeah, we're going to get a hold.
And Menelik
Watson. No, Menelik Watson, I believe.
New Orleans will probably decline this time and take the punt here as Derek just scrambled out to his right and was forced to throw the ball away on third down.
There is no foul for defensive holding.
All right. It would have been defensive holding. Hold on.
Well,
they were going to call defensive holding.
Well, that would have been a screen.
That would have been an automatic first down.
It was a screen, and they held on to Washington, so I don't know why they picked up the flag.
I don't either.
Well, that would have been a big call for the Raiders had they called that. It was not going to be offensive holding on Menelik. It was going to be a defensive hold there. Here's the first punt of the game. Marquette King, who punted here, of course, a few years ago in the preseason, looking forward to letting it out today. One of pro football's most powerful punters. And it will be Marcus Murphy, second-year return man from Missouri, who had problems in the preseason putting the ball on the ground. He lost a couple of fumbles. Marquette King gets it away on the Raider 28-yard line. High punt. This one will bounce and go into the end zone. And just too strong of a leg. Greg Papa, Tom Flores up in the booth. Lincoln Kennedy on the Raiders sideline. 1st and 10, Saints on the 20. Here's a lead play, fullback lead, and the Raiders stack that up beautifully. John Kuhn leading Mark Ingram. And a power run right in the middle of the Raider front, and nothing there at all. Raiders, right now, they had Justin Ellis on the nose. Now they'll take him off and go to their nickel defense. Danico Autry, Darius Latham playing inside. Bruce Irvin will rush off the right Raider defensive front. Khalil Mack, the left. Second down, 10 for Brees and the Saints on the 20. Empty set. Brees shotgun, looks left, throws. Caught by the rookie Michael Thomas for a first down. His first catch in the NFL. A very impressive looking round 2 rookie out of Ohio State town, who was sure-handed, looked to be spectacular at times. That time Brees is just playing the matchup game, going to an empty set, looks over your defense, and somebody's going to uncover quick, and looked like the Raiders were playing a zone there.
Yeah, they were playing a zone. It looked like almost like a 2-deep zone. Because it was just an inside, a little slant to the inside.
DJ Hayden let him go out of the slot. 1st and 10, New Orleans on the 31. They've had Cook in motion. They give it to Ingram off the left side for a big run. About 9 yards length before Malcolm Smith can run him down. They ran that ghost motion with the receiver, Brandon Cooks, coming behind the line to hold the backside. And he got a lot there on the play side. Good gain for Mark Ingram.
Yeah, and for some reason the Raiders defense respected that ghost motion, thinking it was a reverse going. I saw a whole bunch of movement and put him out of position to stop that run, as you mentioned.
Well, they will give it to Cooks. He is shifty in space. Brandon Cooks out of Oregon State, grew up in the Bay Area. Second down and 1, mid-second quarter, tied at 10. Brees in the gun, has Mark Ingram behind him and to his left. It's a gun run off the slant coming from left to right. It gets stacked up a little bit there. See if he got the push for the first down. I think he did.
Yeah.
That time the back link lined up not only to the quarterback's side, but something you see in Chip Kelly's offense a lot, where the back was a couple of body lengths behind him, where they like to run that inside zone, slanting across there to Mark Ingram.
Yeah, and also what you saw from that front is that Brees recognized he had the advantage for the offense, and that's why they were able to go with that simple run to get the first down.
Now they go into a true eye. John Kuhn, the fullback, ahead of Tim Hightower back in the NFL after 3 years out with a knee problem. They give it to him off the left side. Nice work there by Jihad Ward to come slanting in. It was that Autry, maybe Autry, 96. They didn't block him in the front there, Link, and they held down Tim Hightower is going to be their backup running back today. Former Arizona Cardinal, a year in Washington, was out from 2012 through 14 with knee injuries. Interestingly, C.J. Spiller inactive today, and they're going with Hightower and Travis Cadet behind Mark Ingram. Now they go back into that eye. What's Sean Payton up to, Tom? A deep shot here out of the eye. Kuhn ahead of Hightower. Second down, play action. They're going to roll Brees right. They're looking deep. Shot will come, and wide open on the Raider 40-yard line on the outcut is Brandon Cooks. He just knew he was up to something going into that I formation back-to-back plays. He wanted to go play action and take a shot.
Yeah, that's enough of this run stuff, he said. Let's go with the play pass. And very simple play pass, just a very excellent. Had plenty of time to throw, and Cooks got open on just a little outcut to the right side.
Yeah, beat DJ Hayden on the play. 1st and 10, New Orleans, the Raider 40. They have Brees in the gun again. Ingram is not only to his right, but he's a half a yard or a yard and a half behind him. And now here comes pressure. Wide open is the rookie Thomas. The work dinks on Sean Smith and speeds down the sideline. Oh, I saw Sean Smith's lack of mobility in space hurt you there as he just rocked it, Tom. That should have been like a 10-yard gain, 15-yard gain, but he lost Sean Smith and sped down the sideline and made it a 25-yard gain.
Yeah, Sean Smith trying to play aggressive on him, and he did play aggressive, but he took an inside release on him after the collision and had a lot of space.
I've seen Irvin slip once. Sean Smith has slipped once. Link, you got to wonder if the Raider footing on this long field turf is holding true. Brees back, looking end zone, throws. It is caught for a touchdown. They went right at DJ Hayden. It is caught by Brandon Cooks. Boy, they went right down the field there, 80 yards before the Raiders could even blink. They're in the end zone.
Well, that shows the effectiveness of Drew Brees. He got what he wanted defensively, and he picked us apart that entire drive. No pressure by the guys up front, really. And as Coach mentioned, working off of that play action and just going to the air, it was easy pitch and catch for the touchdown.
Brandon Cooks, Tom, in the right slot, went right at the Raider slot corner. DJ Hayden, just a slight nod to the corner, but he was going slant all the way there and beat him inside.
Yeah, he sure did. You know, that's that route we talked about, hitting down the seam areas on just a little, not really a post, but an inside move.
Just a little nod to the corner and then the post.
Yeah,
kind of a skinny post.
Yep.
Brandon Cooks, this guy scored 9 touchdowns last year, had 8 their final 9 games. He caught 84 passes for over 1,100 yards. An emerging young receiver, 3rd year out of Oregon State. Now, he said it was going to be a shootout today. Drew Brees, a great tennis player. He says to Derek Carr, it's your serve now, as the Saints take a 17-10 lead with 4:55 to go. Boy, Drew Brees was on point on that drive, 4 for 4 for 67 of their 80 yards. 8 plays, 80-yard drive. And the touchdown pass to Brandon Cooks, a 15-yarder for Drew Brees to put New Orleans up 17-10. Kickoff here by Lutz. Taiwan Jones comes in the field of play. 5-yard line, 10, 15, 20 again dancing. And he's going to get slammed down to around the 24-yard line. Taiwan did not get a lot of touches in the preseason, and he's dancing way too much here on opening day. Raiders get the ball back with 4:49 to go in the half, down 17-10 in New Orleans. Greg Papa, Tom Flores, Lincoln Kennedy at the Superdome. Delvin Breaux, the starting cornerback for the New Orleans Saints, having his left ankle taped over on the sideline, so he is not in there. Derek Carr under center, starts on the 25-yard line. Back is Murray. Crabtree comes in short motion, left slot right. Play action, wrong side, throws off the fingertips of Crabtree. Incomplete, as they went right after Ken Crawley, who is now in, replacing Delvin Breaux, rookie free agent from Colorado, who Derek played against in college back in 2012. But the play, Tom, the play action fake was to the wrong side. Murray went to the other side, and Derek, there's no sense even executing that. Then his throw was a little bit too far to the inside.
Well, the inside also, the Kenny Vaccaro, the safety, one of the safeties had inside coverage, so he had a little help to the inside.
Raiders have 3 receivers in now. They bunch the formation right. Here's Derek, a handoff. Murray, a big hole, gets spilled. Looked like that would pop more, Link, but Crawley, the safety corner, spilled him as they got a gaping hole in the front there off the right side. But Crawley was able to get under Latavius and spill him head over heels there and hold that down short of the first down.
Yeah, that time the offensive line, along with Lee Smith, won the battle up front. And I think some of the best runs the Raiders have had so far have been straight downhill. Not trying to stretch, just straight downhill, off guard and inside the tackle. 3rd down and 1, and the Raiders go into a shotgun with Murray to the right. They have a slot formation left. They single up Crabtree right. Gun run. Murray, first down Raiders, steps through a tackle. Flag came in. Did the Raiders hold? The umpire threw the flag, Link.
It's going to be a hold on the Raiders. First down negated. Now it's third down to the 11.
Offense, number 88.
It's on Clive Wolford.
Third down.
It's always so difficult with those gun runs because if you're trying to work off of the defensive slant or the defensive lineman and you're just trying to get your hands inside, the back who cuts it back sometimes leads too much exposure, and that's prime time for the ref or umpire to call holding.
Clive Wolford was blocking in on Kenny Vaccaro. He's really good in the box. He's not a great in-space safety. Young safety out of Texas where he was an All-American. DeAndre Washington is in, so now this whole down and distance changes. Third down 11.
Yeah.
Now the Raiders are going to have to re-huddle here. They're going to reset the play clock at 25. Raiders have Carr in the gun. They have Washington to his right, Wolford to his left. They're encasing him. New Orleans showing a three-man pressure. Are they going to blitz? No, they're going to rush 3 and drop 8. Carr back, check down short. Washington, Laurinaitis will have him, and they'll drop him shy. So Dennis Allen is playing coverage, Tom. We thought he blitzed Eric aggressively. He has some downs, but when he gets into a favorable down and distance, he's rushing 3 and dropping 8 and playing coverage.
Yeah, he plays the sticks. He plays everybody's back about, where the first down yardage is, and they just defense it from there.
Raiders will punt. Marquette King should have room to go here. He punted from the Raider 38 last time, and it was a touchback. He's got such a strong leg. Marcus Murphy back to return this punt for the New Orleans Saints. Here's King getting it away, 23-yard line. This is a shorter fluttering ball. Murphy comes up 25, 30, and he's finally wrapped up and dropped it around the 32-yard line. Marquette did not hit that as well as we've seen him. That punt was up only a little under 4 full seconds, a 42-yard punt, and it's an 8-yard return there by Marcus Murphy. And the New Orleans Saints will have a good drive start here across their 30-yard line on their 32-yard line. First down and 10. Their last drive was really impressive. Drew Brees was on point. They're clearly attacking Sean Smith in space, the big corner, and he's the biggest corner in the NFL now at 6'4". But they have been able to exploit him on this field turf. You saw the Raiders' lack of speed show up in St. Louis a few years ago. And it's showing up at times today. Cooks goes in motion outside the numbers left. Drew Brees under center and Max Unger. Lone back is Ingram. John Kuhn, the fullback, lines up as a right wing. Short drop, 3 steps, hits Thomas on the in cut. The big rookie receiver beats Amerson. First time they've thrown on Amerson today, Tom. You gotta like this guy's size. Michael Thomas at 6 feet 3 inches tall. He is the nephew. His uncle is Keyshawn Johnson. He's almost Keyshawn big. Well, a big receiver, Keyshawn.
Yeah, Drew Brees is kind of taking him to school here.
There's a run to Ingram up the middle. They bring Willie Snead, the slot receiver, link over in a trap block. I think the Raiders stacked that up shy of the first down, though. It'll bring up a third down and about a yard, less than a yard, on the New Orleans 42-yard line. And we are going to hit the 2-minute warning now.
They have such, so it's less than a yard.
Yeah.
So they'll probably go for it, just pound it away, and then use their timeouts and Drew Brees' ability to move the ball in 2-minute offense.
The Raiders did win the opening toss and deferred.
Right.
So the Raiders will get the ball link to start the second half. So we're waiting for the personnel grouping to come on. New Orleans fooled the Raiders, went to a heavy set before on the goal line touchdown. The Raiders were misaligned. Dan Williams is in playing on the nose. They are going to play Jelly and Dan Williams together. So they've got the middle covered. Mack and Irvin on the outside. Third down. It's going to be a quarterback sneak off the right side for Brees. They didn't get any push at all, Link. Did they get that?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell. There's so many bodies up there, but I think the Raiders won that one. I think it's 4th down.
Well, you don't see Drew Brees sneak a lot. Tom Brady's so good at it, Tom. And Brees, he didn't get any push at all trying to go behind the right side of their offensive line. And Jerry Evans, I don't know if he got that first down.
What was good for the Raiders, and it worked to their advantage, is that they were actually misaligned. They were overloaded on one side.
Yeah, they left a gap.
Malcolm Smith was trying to get them evened out, but the snap happened. So
if Brees would have snuck that ball off their left side, Link, it was wide open. There was a huge bubble there.
Exactly right.
Yeah, you're right.
The Raiders did use Dan Williams and Justin Ellis together on that front. That's something they typically will not do except in their short yardage defense. They bring the chain gang out from the Raiders sideline. He's got it by the nose of the ball. First down, New Orleans. He just got it barely. Boy, I don't know if it's worth looking at it. Replay review. We are under 2 minutes to go. Jack may request one here. There's just too many people to really tell, Tom, where the spot of the ball goes. But just looking at the push from their offensive line, they got no push at all.
No, they got no push at all. No, but all they needed was about a foot.
That's the problem. So they got it. They convert again. New Orleans now 3 of 6 on third down today. See if the Raiders can keep this 17-10 game by halftime. Brees in the gun. Here he comes now. Empty set. Raiders blitz. Heaney throw out and a drop. They tried to get it out quick to Flores Cadet as they were off rhythm there, Tom. The Raiders that time did blitz the middle linebacker, Ben Heaney.
Did blitz a little middle linebacker, and the coverage was very loose out there. There was only one defender out there.
Well, Snead was going out the block, so it almost looked like a pre-designed screen.
Yeah,
it was just poorly thrown by Brees.
Yeah, I question. I mean, there was only one defender out there, and another safety or corner came over late.
2nd and 10, New Orleans on their 42. Empty set again. Brees in the gun. And here's Brees back. Irvin on a twist, comes middle, wraps him up, and they sack him. Back on the 38-yard line. Bruce Irvin hit him first.
Yeah, but we're going to get defensive holding, guys.
In the secondary, a flag is down. Bruce Irvin had a strip sack early in the game. There's John Perry, our referee.
Holding. Defense, number 25.
DJ Hayden.
Penalty, automatic first down.
That'll hurt. It'll also stop the clock and give them an automatic first down.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, really. The defense, the penalties are just killing the Raiders. Whether they're right or wrong on those penalties, they're still calling them.
They had Willie Snead in the slot. They grabbed him high. Looked like it was within 5 yards. 1st and 10, New Orleans. Here's Brees back, looking right, throwing low again, incomplete again. That is twice now he has missed Flores Cadet in the right flat, partly on Brees, and he's so on point, Tom. He doesn't normally miss any throws, let alone a clean shot throw, but also Cadet has been a little bit off today, and he was a guy who played wide receiver before converting to running back.
Yeah, that's a little pick play they're trying to run on the right side. They ran it earlier, and which you're right, he threw it wide and low earlier, and that time he ran the same play.
His 3 worst passes of the day have gone to Cadet. 2nd and 10, empty set, Brees in the gun. Raiders blitz Heaney again, throw out right again. Cadet, Amerson lost the tackle. Cadet down the sideline will crawl on his knees out of bounds before McGill will tackle him on the field of play to stop the clock. Cadet gets out into Raider territory on the Raider 47-yard line. New Orleans has all 3 timeouts remaining. The Raiders have 2 left, and we have 1:26 to play in the half. Here's a big third down coming up again. 3rd down and 4. Keith McGill's playing well today at strong safety. Reggie Nelson playing deep safety. Now they're going to bring McGill inside, line him up over that bunch formation. New Orleans goes bunch left, and they single up the rookie receiver Michael Thomas right. Here's Brees in the gun. Going to throw a deep one and an out cut left. He overthrew Cooks, and no flag down as he tried to go to the corner route there to Brandon Cooks, Tom, against DJ Hayden. He got pressure, Brees, and threw awkwardly and way too long off his back foot. They're going to have to punt the ball away here. Or the Raiders will get it back. I think they're going to punt. They're all looking over. He's got a punt here, right? Their offense was looking over to Sean Payton like Payton may go for it. They're just now coming off the field. So the Raiders may want to keep their base defense in just in case they fake this.
Well, they're already looking. They already got their special teams punt return in there. You know, in that last play, the Raiders did bring a blitz. Bruce Irvin got some initial pressure to force that ball to be thrown out of whack.
This is Morstead's first punt of the day. TJ Carey, the Raiders will use him deep in their own territory to secure it. A flag comes down before the snap here.
Delay game. All
right, New Orleans. All right.
You're getting a little paranoid here.
Yeah, well, one more penalty will give him a first down.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Yeah, they took the delay. And it'll move them back. The Raiders could decline that if they want, but they will take the 5 yards. TJ Carey is going to return punts in certain situations. They want him to secure the ball. He will, when they're back inside their 10 like they are now, he will do it. DeAndre Washington will do it. Jalen Richard will do it. Here's Thomas Morstead, one of the best punters in the history of the game. Gets the snap, and he'll try to twirl this down inside the 20, the 10. It'll be caught by Carey. Did not fair catch. Comes straight ahead. He gets pounded. Boy, that was a courageous return. He caught the ball on the 10-yard line. No blockers, but he came straight ahead forward and took a couple of hits, one from each side. 45-yard punt by Morstead. A 10-yard return. Nicely done by T.J. Carr. He did not have a single punt return in the preseason. And now the Raiders, Tom, will take it inside their 20 on their 18-yard line. They have 2 timeouts remaining and 1:11 to go. So we'll see Derek Carr's first 2-minute drill of the year. He goes empty. 3 receivers right. And it's Clive Walford, Seth Roberts, Michael Crabtree from in to out. And Amari Cooper slotted left. Here's Carr throwing middle. It is caught by Clive Walford. And he's out across the 25, up near a first down. Raiders got to go now. No timeout. They're not going to burn one now. A minute to go in the half. 2nd and 1 on the 27. Derek gets him lined up fast. He flips Murray to his right in the gun. Slot left. Derek wants the ball fast. Let's go. 2nd and 1. It's a gun run to Murray on 2nd down. It'll pick up the first down, I think. And not a whole lot of yardage there, Tom. Do you want to call timeout now? Timeout,
yeah,
Raiders.
They did call time, yeah.
Timeout, 45 seconds to go in the half. Now the Raiders have 1 timeout to use.
Menelik Watson is down, guys.
God. It's not the first time you said that. The young man just can't stay healthy. What is it, Link? He looks like he's in a heap on his side.
Yeah, and they're calling the staff out.
Oh, boy. Here they all come. Dr. King, Scott Touche, H. Rod Martin. Wow. Austin Howard is inactive today. He got rolled up onto the Raiders' final preseason game on September the 1st against Seattle, an ankle injury. So it would be Matt McCants who would come in at right tackle. Any idea what body part it is, Link?
No, I can't see. There's too many bodies around him, unfortunately, the team right now, so I can't tell you what it is, but hopefully he's making an effort to get up.
He got rolled up on Tom.
Yeah, but
he's in the bottom of the pile.
He's all right.
He's running off. So
okay, all right, there he goes.
That's a good sign.
Oh yeah, he is going to go off. But it's his right leg, huh? Looks like he moved pretty well with a little bit of discomfort on the right leg as he is limping now as he gets closer to the bench. And now he punches the bench.
He's got to control himself.
He's a former boxer.
He's frustrated.
Don't break your hand, Menelik. He punched
he's been
the bench twice and then threw his helmet down.
He's been hurt so many times. He gets frustrated about it. He gets paranoid about it, and it scares him sometimes, I think.
All right, we'll get a report from Link on what's going on. McCants is in at right tackle. 1st and 10 Raiders on their 29. 1 timeout left. 45 seconds to go in the half. Carr in the shotgun. Carr looking right, throwing, caught. Seth Roberts near to a first down up to the 40-yard line. Raiders got to hurry. Of course, Janikowski can blast one from great distance here inside this dome. 33 seconds to go. 2nd down and 1. Raiders on their 38. Taking a lot of time here. 25 seconds to go in the half. Carr finally snaps the ball, pumps, throws, caught. First down, tackled by Roman Harper. Out to around the 45-yard line is Michael Crabtree on the catch. Well, the clock is ticking down. They've got a timeout. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Wow. What are they doing? And now Derek will spike it with 6. You got time for one more play. They did not run that well at all.
No.
Well, the Saints are going to give him those short slants and just tackle him, keep everything in front. But it's so disorganized, even with a hurry up, it didn't seem as much of a sense of urgency out of the offense that you expect. Really disappointing because we expected a lot better efficiency out of this offensive group right now.
Well, now with 6 on the clock, Tom, do you have time to throw a quick out?
That's about it.
You do have 1 timeout left. You can throw it down the middle to try to get it in the field goal range.
Yeah, but you only have 6 seconds left.
Yeah, you want to get about 15 yards. Can you get 15 yards in 6 seconds?
Saints call timeout.
Timeout New Orleans. They're going to play, obviously, a loose defense. Vaccaro and Jarris Byrd, their safety, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, will play deep here. So if you get it to the 40-yard line and let Janikowski try a 58-yarder, he can make a 60. He can make a long kick here inside this dome, obviously. So let's see what New Orleans does. And you save that 1 timeout, which was smart, Tom. So now you don't have to go on strictly out cuts. You can work the middle of the field and call a timeout.
You work the middle field. You're really playing with you're really having
with the time.
Yeah, because it takes about 7 seconds to run most plays.
You got to be quick here. You got to get it out fast.
Well, you got to make sure you call a timeout as soon as you're tackled.
You got to if a guy catches the ball, he's got a certain distance. He's got to go down right away. He can't be running with the ball.
Crabtree's out wide right. They're playing him very loose. Slot left. Roberts inside of Cooper. Crabtree has loose coverage up top. They are going to blitz. Carr going to look out, right cut. Caught in the field of play, but that lost yardage to Clive Walford.
Made no sense.
And now the Raiders will call a timeout with 2 seconds to go, but that lost yardage.
Oh, that's just ridiculous, really.
Now that's too far for a field goal here.
Well, first of all, what are you accomplishing? You're running right down the line of scrimmage, and so if you catch the ball, you gain 0 yards.
And what was strange is they're playing coverage. They're only rushing 3 from what I saw, guys. The fact that Derek Carr threw that ball so quickly like he was pressured, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
The Raiders are lucky Walford was tackled. Had he not been tackled, the half would have expired.
Well, yeah, but this.
Yeah, so now you just get the field goal's out of play now.
Yeah, they're just going with a Hail Mary now.
Now you just got to throw a bomb. And New Orleans is going to play the most preventive defenses. They've got 5 guys on their 30, and they're going to start backing up. Coleman Harper, P.J. Williams, Jarius Byrd. He's going to have to run all goes here and just let it fly. Raiders are on their own 44-yard line, so this is going to have to be an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary. Just throw it high and deep. No, it's going to be a quick throw out to Cooper. He's going to have to break 27 tackles here, and they're going to pound him down from behind. Well, that's it. The first half ends. They were hoping Amari Cooper could shake them all there at the end.
Wow,
could not drive it down the field. So not a great way to end the opening half. Raiders were up 10-3, and they are down at halftime by a score of 17-10. Drew Brees, who has thrown for over 60,000 yards in his career, 4th all-time. He's a future Hall of Famer to be sure, Tom, but the New Orleans Saints in the first half had 15 first downs and over 200 yards of offense, 244, but Brees threw for exactly 200 of those yards, 15 of 24 for 200 yards. He did miss a couple of open throws to Traverse Cadet in the right flat, but beyond that, he was on point for a couple of touchdowns. So we thought we'd have a shootout, and so far we're getting a shootout. He will kick from south to north. Taiwan Jones deep in the Raider end zone. We're underway to start the second half. Raiders down 17-10. Taiwan will take a right knee as he caught that 6 yards deep in the end zone. Whenever he's 5 or more yards deep, he will take a knee. The Raiders will take it on the 25-yard line following the touchback. The Raiders in the first half had 9 first downs themselves, and Derek Carr was 12 of 16 passing, 137 yards. He had a 35-yarder to Amari Cooper and a 34-yarder to Amari. Those were both on that 91-yard touchdown drive. Raiders go 1st and 10. They go into an empty set to open the game. A bunch formation to the right. And Matt McCants is in at right tackle for Menelik Watson. DeAndre Washington is the back. They're going to gun run him out of the bunch formation. He jitterbugs forward and gets out to around the 29-yard line. Link, we saw this formation in the first half where you go bunch opposite of the hash mark you're on and then gun run. But the big thing, Matt McCants is in at right tackle for Menelik. Link.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting to get some information on Menelik, but I do not see him on the sideline right now, so I believe he's still being evaluated in the Raider locker room. I'll get you more information as soon as I can.
Yeah, I try to get some up here on the press level from the Raider personnel. They just do not have a report yet on Menelik Watson, who went down in the first half. So did Gabe Jackson, but he came back in. Crabtree goes in long motion. 2nd down 6. Give to Washington straight ahead. And he gets tackled from behind by Nick Fairley, who's playing much better, lighter, and quicker this year. Of course, a first-round draft pick of the Detroit Lions, 4 years there. Last year with the Rams behind their great, ferocious front. Washington with a couple of runs here. Now will run off the field on 3rd down and 3. Raiders in the first half on 3rd downs converted 3 of their first 6. Taiwan Jones comes in on 3rd down. Carr goes into a shotgun, and they go empty. Walford, Crabtree, and Taiwan Jones left outside the numbers. Cooper slotted inside of Roberts right. Here's Laurinaitis on a blitz. Throw out quick, and Cooper never got his head around. Incomplete. They blitzed the middle linebacker, Tom. Dennis Allen brought James Laurinaitis, and Amari Cooper ran that shallow cross. He never got his head around, and the ball went whizzing by on 3rd down.
Well, the ball came out quick on that one. I don't know that it had to come so quick because there were bodies on bodies. He could have waited maybe a little longer, but there was some confusion there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Link, even though they blitzed the middle backer, Laurinaitis, looked like Derek had more time there.
He did have more time, and he rushed it. He was trying so hard to get the ball to Amari Cooper, as you mentioned. Amari wasn't even looking for the pass.
There's the punt.
Derek's got to slow down.
Marquette King will catch it on the 17. He'll punt it away on the 22-yard line. Wobbler, left sideline, taken by Murphy. Comes straight ahead, breaks a tackle of Taiwan Jones, runs into Bates and gets slammed. The Bates Motel at around the 26-yard line. A flag is down on the opposite side of the field.
Illegal block.
It's going to be on the Saints. Punt was up 4 4/10 seconds. A 52-yard punt by Marquette King and a 10-yard return by Murphy. Here's our referee, John Perry.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, half the distance to the goal, 1st and 10, timeout.
And that'll back them up when we come back. 13:29 to go, third quarter. Drew Brees and the Saints lead the Raiders by a score of 17-10.
Saints coming out in heavy formation, guys. Look for a run.
Well, they may play action. They're going to go heavy to the right link. Lone back is Ingram. Brees under center. Cooks goes in motion. They're going to run it, and the Raiders are all over it. Beautifully played there by Malcolm Smith as he shot right through that bunch formation to slam that for a tackle for loss. So you knew it was coming, Link. You always worry about Brees pulling it out of that like he did to open the game. At that time, they ran behind the heavy formation.
I sincerely think they want to test this run defense of the Raiders, especially with the lead in the second half. They're going to stay with it. They got heavy formation. Raiders are trying to substitute kind of late.
Irvin's coming off the field. Emerson comes off the field really late. What a defense of the Raiders in here. It is second down and long. Brees under center. And here's a whistle and a pre-snap penalty. False start on New Orleans.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Looks like they're trying to trick each other.
Every little bit helps, but that time, I think that was pretty sure that was going to be a play action there.
They were going to throw it out of the heavy set. Lolito.
No, I guess not. He did hand it off, didn't he?
Yeah, Tim Lolito was the guy who false started. They've been using him as a third tackle today. That time the Raiders almost went to a short yardage goal line defense to match up. Here's Brees going to roll the pocket out right, throws for Cooks. Deeks, Emerson. No, Emerson got him around the waist. And Emerson slamming him down with his hand after he got Cooks on the field. He's a tough guy to tackle Tom in space, but Emerson almost lost him, but he was able to grab him around the waist and throw him down to the field turf.
Yeah, well, Cooks, he is tricky. He's hard to get down. He's got more power, I guess, than you think. Emerson trying to
pull the ball out.
That's why it looked like he was whacking him.
Thought he was going to punch in the speed bag there. He was trying to rip the ball out. Third down and 9 for the Saints on their 11. Brees in the gun. The back motion's out. He throws a slant coming right short. He caught the ball, but it is a fourth down coming up as they hit the rookie Michael Thomas. Good coverage there by David Emerson. So the Raiders force the 3 and out now, and will get the ball back to their offense down 17-10. Good defensive series for the Raiders there.
Yeah, and they're going to get it in good field position too, Greg. And hopefully, maybe we can get a little bit of a run back here.
Jalen Richard, Tom, is going to take this punt back from Thomas Morstead. You know, he's excited. He grew up in the state of Louisiana, Alexandria. Morstead with a big booming kick. Richard at the 34-yard line. Nate Allen out to block along with Taiwan Jones. Makes a man miss. Jumps by the long snapper down the sideline, but a flag came down. I think the Raiders blocked in the back towards the end of that return.
Wow.
Jalen Richard looking shifty in his first NFL touch. Got in space with a 26-yard punt return after a 57-yard punt, but a lot of this is coming back.
Yeah, there was some contact from the backside. You know, if you can't see the guy's front numbers, leave him alone.
During the return, holding, number 41 return team. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10, timeout on the field.
Brandon Trawick, who's a great Raider special teamer, former Baltimore Raven, called for the block in the back, so the drive start will not be in New Orleans territory. It'll be at around the Raider 41-42 yard line. 11:23 to play, third quarter. Down 17-10. Derek Carr under center. Lone back Latavius Murray. Murray 7 carries in the first half for 32 yards, and he scored the touchdown. Crabtree goes in long motion to the right. Derek Carr going to play action to Murray. Looks right, throws. It is caught by Crabtree. Running backwards, trying to lose Kenny Vaccaro. He will lose a couple of yards, then he will come forward to get back what he gave. Tried to circle around him and break a tackle, but Vaccaro kept him hemmed in. Nice catch there by Crabtree on the outcut, Tom. A decent gain. Going to mark him down on the 36-yard line, gain of 6. Carr in the gun now. Murray to his left. Lee Smith as a right wing. Crabtree right, slot left. Quick throw out right to Crabtree. And he jumps forward. They're going after the young corner here, Ken Crawley, rookie free agent from Colorado, who was in for Delvin Breaux, who had a left ankle injury, and he has not returned.
Yeah, the free agent out of Colorado, you're right, and he's playing loose coverage, so they're taking advantage of the loose coverage. He's playing loose and to the inside, almost giving you that little outcut.
Crabtree will take a play off, so Johnny Holton will come in now. Johnny goes into a slot right inside of Amari Cooper. Jameis Alawale is in as a left wing outside of Lee Smith. They move Holton in motion. They follow him with Crawley playing man. 1st and 10 Raiders. Handoff Murray off the left side. Comes hopping through the hole. Big push led by Kelechi Osemele into New Orleans territory. Very close to a first down there as Latavius came hopping right through that hole off the left side.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, KO and Donald Penn did a great double team up to the middle linebacker that time of the Saints, really busting out. I believe their most successful running between the tackles has been right there for those guys.
All right, play caller's dream here, Tom. You're right in the middle of their Fleur de Lis logo. The logo shot in the middle of the field here. 2nd and 1. You could take a shot or run it. They got a bunch formation to the left. Holton still in outside left. Comes in motion tight left. Heavy left. They give it to Murray off the left side. Stacked up, but he spins off of it to pick up the Raider first down as he falls ahead of the New Orleans 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders trying to tie the game on this drive at 17. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. You're listening to Compass Media Networks. This is the NFL. Raiders have 3 wide receivers on the field, 1 back, Taiwan Jones. They play action roll. Carr off the hands, incomplete of Amari Cooper. Tom just tried to drag him underneath there after the action went left. They rolled him right. That was a catchable ball off the fingertips of Amari Cooper. Ball was a bit overthrown by Derek, but he did get his fingertips on it. Just incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Raiders on the New Orleans 45-yard line. Raiders are rotating the running backs every single play. One play it's Murray, next play it's Jones, and now it's DeAndre Washington. He was out wide left. Now he comes in motion, followed by the linebacker Robertson. They know it's man. And it's 2nd and 10 Raiders. Carr in the gun run. Washington coming right, got turned back inside. Looked like he had an opening there, but Big John Jenkins, their defensive lineman link, just jumped outside of that and shoved it back inside and made the tackle, but it looked like that opened up better. Just didn't get much on the slant run, the gun run coming left to right.
Well, one thing I definitely heard is that the Saints were calling it out the moment Washington went back in the backfield. All their defense was calling out run, run, run. So they're going to have to do a better job of disguising it because that was very predictable.
Now they take Washington off the field and they bring in Latavius Murray. We've not seen Jalen Richard from scrimmage, but we've seen Murray, Washington, and Taiwan Jones a lot. 3rd down, big play coming up for the Raiders here. 3rd down and 10. Carr in the gun. Snap was wide to his right. Backpedals, throws a tough out cut out of bounds. Amari couldn't catch that. Well, that's a hard throw to make. As he was backpedaling, Tom, with the pressure coming at his face, to throw the out cut to the left while you're backpedaling. He made a strong throw. That is a hard throw to complete.
That's a hard throw to complete, but he had a little pressure, not a lot of pressure, but he was shuffling to his left and threw off bounds, and the ball was just wide left and way too out of bounds. You can't get
uncatchable ball. Derek's been a little quick today.
Yeah, he's a
Jarris Byrd, former
Russian.
Buffalo Bill, is back to return the punt. Marquette King, he'll pooch this now. Point down, try to end it and flip it inside the 10-yard line. Byrd calls for a fair catch. It'll bounce, and the Raiders down it expertly on the 2-yard line. That is the wide receiver, Andre Holmes, who covered it up. With Andre Holmes on one side, Taiwan Jones on the other, you have 2 of the best gunners in pro football. And Marquette King, just great touch there, Tom. Punt by Marquette King, down by Andre Holmes. The Raiders defense can just come aggressively here, Tom. The Saints are on the 2-yard line. Well, this drive will start up against their south end zone of the Superdome. Raiders safety play is maintained all day today. Keith McGill, his 2nd NFL start. His first one came as a cornerback his rookie year. He's starting at strong safety today. Reggie Nelson, free safety. They're the only safeties to step on the field today. Nate Allen, who was ready to go, has not taken a defensive snap, only on special teams, and likewise for Carl Joseph. First and 10, New Orleans on their 2. Lone back is Hightower. Right in the N in Saints in the end zone. 5 yards deep. Brees straight drop it in the end zone. Looks left. He throws one down the sideline. Caught. They beat Sean Smith. This may go the whole way. Brandon Cooks. Touchdown. Incredible. 98 yards. Right over the top of Sean Smith. Ken Norton is rubbing his forehead. If there's one mandate of this defense, Tom, never let him get over the top. They got right over the top for 98 yards on Sean Smith, and there was no safety help from anybody.
No safety. Well, he didn't get any jam. He was up tight on him. If you're going to be up that tight, you better get a jam on him, or at least force him. Don't let him get a clean release. He got off clean, and he got a jump on him right off the get-go.
Reggie Nelson never got there. The Saints are picking on Sean Smith. They're going at him all day for deep balls, and that time Brandon Cooks, their young flyer, just flew right by him and cooked him. Now you got a problem. You're down 2 touchdowns.
Well, you knew the way Drew Brees always throws the ball that he was going to take a shot, and nothing got as easy as that. That was a perfect pass, and as you mentioned, Cooks ran away from the defense after he caught the ball.
They're looking at this play by replay. Did Cook step out of bounds or something? There's a long pause here before replay confirms the touchdown. He was tight on that western sideline, the Saints sideline, but I never thought he stepped out, and I think they've confirmed the touchdown now. 98 yards. Now Plunkett hit Cliff Branch for a 99-yarder time, but you can't get much deeper than 98. Here's the point after by Lutz, and now the Raiders are down 2 touchdowns. You don't want to get down 2 touchdowns to Drew Brees. So the great punt by Marquette King becomes a footnote. Coming into the game today, Drew Brees had passed for 60,903 yards. He was 458 yards away from third place in Dan Marino. You wouldn't think he would get it today, but he may. He has 308, and the last 98 came on one play. Brandon Cooks over the top as the Saints are going right after the new Raider, Sean Smith, and they have opened up a 24-10 lead. Lutz will kick off. A lot of football yet to go, a quarter and a half to come back. Tywan Jones will take a knee as he'll field it 6 yards deep in the end zone. And the Raiders will take over on their 25-yard line. Let's see how Derek Carr responds. Derek's been a little antsy today, a little quick. 3 wide receivers. Murray is in. They go empty. 3 are left. They're going to motion Murray to his left. They don't follow, so the Saints, they think, are playing zone. Carr in the gun. I think Matt McCann's false started. Quick throw out left to Murray. It's a false start on the right tackle before the play even started. Now the Raiders will face a first and 15.
Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The start of this kick start, Lanka beat early.
It wasn't. It's not about the noise factor. It wasn't very loud, but it's just antsy. Holding that long motion and waiting for things to happen as a tackle who's replacing the normal starter. You get a little antsy out there at times.
Yeah, Menelik left. Any idea what body parts with Menelik, Link?
The last report, it was a groin injury, doubtful for return.
All right. First and 15, back on the 20. Carr in the gun, Murray to his right. Crabtree right, Cooper left. Derek back, time. Throws, check down Murray, blocked by Seth Roberts. Latavia spins off tacklers and gets all the way out near the first down. Finally dropped by Paul Kruger, former Cleveland Brown, who they just released last week, and the Saints pounced all over him. Raiders get back up on the ball now. They wanted to play with tempo in the second half. They're going to a no huddle. They could snap it fast, or they could hold him here at the line. There's a throw by Carr, ball tipped and almost intercepted, incomplete. They tipped it in the line. Delvin Breaux, who left with the left ankle injury, Tom, is back into the game. But that ball got tipped. They could read that Derek dropped just 3 steps out of the gun. So they all put their hands up and they tipped the ball. And Delvin Breaux almost intercepted that link. What were you saying about Crabtree?
Well, I was just saying Crabtree was wide open, but they couldn't get the snap. Hudson was still making the call. Couldn't get the snap. Crabtree was uncovered.
3rd and 2, Raiders on the 33. They will play with tempo today. And they will hold him at the line, and now they're going to have to call a timeout. What's going on here? Timeout. Which side called it? Saints called timeout. Dennis Allen, their coordinator, wants to get lined up here for a 3rd down and 2. The Raiders have been preparing to change the tempo today, what they're going to call Texas where it'll be a lot like Drew Brees. Well, they'll get him up on the ball fast, Tom, but then Brees will hold it. They just don't want the defense to sub. We did see the Raiders jump into the pure no huddle there and then snapped it quick, but there'll be times they'll no huddle, get up on the ball, let Derek run it, and then hold the Saints at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, Derek Carr wanted the ball then. He wanted the ball right away then, and it upset him that the Saints called timeout. The look in his eyes was very explained everything.
You got to play with poise and the noise here. 3rd down and 2. Carr in the gun, slot left. Roberts inside of Cooper. Crabtree right. Murray to Carr's right. They give it to him on a gun run. He's got the first down. Yes, across the 35. He got low, which is hard for Murray sometimes, but he got down that time. Link to pick up the last needed yard to pick up a Raider first down.
Yeah, and he got some good push from guys up front to get that happen. Wasn't a whole lot of room there, but just enough to get that first down to keep the chains moving.
1st and 10, Raiders on their 36-yard line. Raiders down 2 touchdowns, 24-10. 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Bunch formation left. Murray the lone back. Amari Cooper singled up right against P.J. Williams. Straight ahead, Latavius Murray hops in the hole, looking nifty for the big man there by showing some real good quick feet, Tom, to avoid the tackle in the hole as he kind of cut it to his left and then came hopping in the middle of that front to pick up 5 or 6. He's done that several times today.
Yeah, he does, and the line's doing a better job coming off the ball. And he got some movement and giving him some space, especially on the left side.
Well, he's showing quick feet today, Latavius Murray. 2nd and 5, Raiders on their 41. Slot left, Amari Cooper inside of Crabtree. Crabtree's played the whole game with his jersey out. They go slot right, Roberts inside of Clive Walford. Look for something with Walford here. Now they're going to motion him and stack him behind Roberts on 2nd and 5. Carr play action. Here comes a blitz. Hit as he throws, and it's caught for a Raider first down to midfield. What a catch there by Michael Crabtree. Well, and Derek took a shot, Tom. He stood in there. The blitzing linebacker popped him. That's tough football. Tough throw by the quarterback and a tough catch there by Crabtree, who was well covered but came away with the football.
Yeah, he was well covered by the corner on that side. Who's that, Finnegan? Yeah.
Yeah, but what he did well, Coach, is he used his body to shield him to allow that throw to come into his hands.
Raiders now have Taiwan Jones back into the game. He's the lone back. Staying with that bunch formation left link on the left hash. They have a bunch left. Open side right. Amari singled up. Now they're going to motion Crabtree to the right. The play clock is down to 0. They get it off. Carr check down. Taiwan Jones so fast, comes straight forward. Breaks a tackle and runs for a Raider first down. He split the linebacker and the corner with pure speed. They both had angles in and out on him, Tom, and he just ran right through them.
He did. They were ready. They were trying to brace themselves for the tackle, and before they knew it, he was right through them.
That speed is incredible. He ran right through Delvin Brolink and the linebacker Craig Robertson. They had him covered, and his speed, they just were not ready for his speed. He split him. Delvin Bro was down again. He had that left ankle. So he is out, replaced by Devontae Harris. So they have young corners all over the field. Harris and Crawley and P.J. Williams. Raiders should be able to go at him. 1st and 10, Raiders on the New Orleans 34. Carr under center, Murray the lone back. They give it to him off the right side. Kenny Vaccaro. Nobody blocked the strong safety link. He came in there and stuffed that for a loss.
It happened on the other side of the field, so I'm not sure if it was Crabtree's man because I saw him first one back in the huddle, which is usually an indicator you missed a block. So I'm not exactly sure what happened from my angle, guys. Maybe you have a better...
Crabtree was trying to block Devontae Harris, Coach. It was somebody more inside. And maybe Seth Roberts missed that block.
Yeah, it was inside. Crabtree had his guy.
It was Roberts who missed the block. 2nd down, 10. Raiders on the New Orleans 35. 4:25 to play, 3rd quarter. Raiders down 24-10. Carr in the gun, Murray to his right. Michael Crabtree on the right numbers. Play clock at 3, 2, 1. Just got it off again. Here comes a blitz. Carr going to roll to his right and throw. Wide open. Crabtree's got it on the New Orleans 15-yard line. Again, Tom, they took the play clock right down to the nub.
Sure did.
He got it out, rolled away from the blitz to the right, and found the uncovered Crabtree for a gain of 20 yards, picking on Crawley, the corner on the, gave him a little nod to the inside and then the outcut.
Yep.
Raiders back up on the ball, no huddle. Carr with Murray to his right. He fakes the gun run, rolls Carr, throws end zone. Ball got tipped. Oh, he had Roberts for a touchdown.
Yes, he did.
But the ball got tipped. Just missed it by a hair. They had it. Wow. Who tipped that ball? Vaccaro?
I'm not sure.
One of the linebackers.
It was
Craig
Robertson. Craig Robertson, guys, yeah.
Yeah, he tipped it. Derek, they no huddle hurting, and they faked the gun run going left. Carr rolled right, and the linebacker jumped. Otherwise, Tom, they had Roberts right up that seam for a touchdown.
And that's where he was going with it. That was the intended guy all along. As soon as he made that play action fake, he was going there.
Now Derek is under center. The back is DeAndre Washington. A tight bunch formation left. And here's a handoff. DeAndre straight ahead. Not a lot there. Pushes forward to around the 12. Craig Robertson, the former Cleveland Brown, makes the tackle from the backside. They are playing him today because Danielle Ellerby is out with a quad injury. There's a big play. Third down coming up for the Raiders.
Now we got somebody else down.
Matt McCants, guys.
McCants is down. You're getting thin at right tackle, Link. And he is pounding the turf in pain. Wow. Well, the Raiders don't have Austin Howard.
Feliciano's coming in, guys.
To play tackle. No. Or they bump out somebody else, Osemele, and play him at tackle. He got rolled up on. Oh, Blink, he looks like he got rolled up on.
Yeah.
So here we go. Meanwhile, you got a humongous play staring at the Raiders in the face despite all of this. Third down for the Raiders. Just outside the 10-yard line. Carr in the shotgun. They got to get to the 5-yard line. 3rd and 8. Carr back. Pressured. Throws for the end zone. Deflected ball incomplete. He was trying to go to the front of the end zone to Clive Walford, and the ball got tipped out of there by the middle linebacker, James Laurinaitis. I don't know if Clive got his hands on the ball, Tom, or not. It deflected. It almost was caught by Michael Crabtree, who was behind that, but the ball was deflected so fast Crabtree couldn't get it. Did Clive ever get his hands on that ball?
No, I don't know if he did or not. He didn't turn around real quick. That ball was coming pretty quick.
Now the Raiders will try a field goal here. Right hash mark. Kondo will snap. Marquette King will hold. 31-yarder from Janikowski to make this a 24-13 game. And Jano makes it. Now the Raiders are down 11. Boy, you really wanted to tie the game there, but so much adversity on the offensive line. Just so many injuries.
Wow.
And all in one spot. The tackle spot. I mean, Menelik Watson and Austin Howard battled all August length to win that job. Who was going to win it? Menelik won it. Austin got hurt in the last preseason game. Now they're both hurt. And your backup to the backup, your backup swing tackle, Matt McCants, got hurt.
Yeah, you know what's really unfortunate, it's something I've talked to tackles with quite often, is that you can't prevent people from falling in your legs, especially in this game. There's just no way that you can. And unfortunately for these guys and with these injuries, that's exactly how it happened. Falling on the back of their legs and unfortunately unable to contort in a way to where they can able to walk away from it.
It seems like it's happening more and more. Not just for the Raiders, but football we watch. Just so many times we're seeing people roll up on offensive linemen who have their feet planted, have nowhere to go. And as you say, when the foot's stuck in the ground, what are you going to do? It just seems like it's happening a lot.
You know, one thing I don't know if enough of these young guys do is they try to fight the injury. They try to strengthen it out. And it's the worst thing that you can do. Whenever anybody has hit you, and Rich Gannon taught me this, when somebody hits you from the backside and you don't see it, you're supposed to just let go sort of and allow your body to naturally contort. If you try to fight it or try to stand tall on it, you're going to do damage every time.
All right. The thing is, the Raiders didn't score a touchdown on that drive time, which really hurts with all the injuries. Janikowski going to bounce this kickoff. Murphy will take it on the 6, straight ahead, 10, 15, 20. He'll sneak up. Pyle still pushing. He will not make the 25. That time, Janikowski mortar kicked it on the ground. The field turf here did not sky it. And it was caught at around the 6. They'll vary the kickoffs here. And New Orleans will take over just inside their 25-yard line as Matt McCants goes off the field on a cart through the tunnel between that end zone. The Raiders were just attacking the southern end zone. So, wow. They're going to have to pick up a tackle between now and the home opener next week against the Atlanta Falcons. Here goes Drew Brees now. 1st and 10, New Orleans. Brees, even with the 11-point lead, goes into an empty set. Shotgun. Brees back, looks right, throws the out cut, wide open, caught by the rookie Thomas. He gets pushed forward by the tackler Ben Heaney. He caught it at around the 31, and Heaney pushed him out to around the 33 before he dropped him. And right back up on the ball, New Orleans playing with tempo here like they have a deficit. They're up 24-13. And Brees goes right into the empty set. Nobody back, receivers everywhere. A little quick throw out left, caught by Hightower, runs right through DJ Hayden. And he picks up the first down or very close to it. as he caught that ball. Hightower right at the sticks. They get the first down there. Very
Looks
close.
like it. Looks like it. Coming in with heavy formation right now, though.
The Raiders, Link, have replaced Sean Smith with DJ Hayden. So Sean Smith's first game as a Raider, he gets benched. DJ Hayden is now playing the right cornerback spot. David Amerson playing the left corner, and Sean Smith is out after really getting torched all day. There's a end around and a quick give to the receiver Cooks. They run this play a lot, Tom. They'll run that jet sweep motion, and Brandon Cooks comes in motion from the left out the left side. He's so fast before you even realize he's tearing around your right defensive end on that jet sweep on the end around.
Well, they're using all their weapons today. Right now they got the Raiders a little bit on their heels, and they're using every weapon they have.
That picked up first down yardage before DJ Hayden could tackle Brandon Cooks. Hightower the lone back. They finally put Brees under center. Here's a counter run coming middle, and the Raiders stack that up beautifully. Shalik Calhoun, Bruce Irvin actually, 51, not 91. Bruce got in that time, Link, and that time they played it soundly. When they line up in an I and go to a traditional running play, a counter or a bob, the Raiders have played it well. What that hard time has been with Drew Brees in the empty set in the quick game.
Yeah, and he's not going to pull up. He is not one for trying to waste time on the clock. He's going to attack you.
T.J. Carey is now in playing the nickel with DJ replacing Sean Smith. Again, they put Brees in the gun. Quick throw out left. Low catch by Travaris Cadet the back. He had to go to the ground to secure that. Tackle made by Malcolm Smith. For some reason, Tom, the only time I've ever seen Drew Brees inaccurate with his throws has been to Travaris Cadet.
Yeah.
4 times today.
Yeah,
he just can't get it to him. That one was low, but Cadet was able to scoop it down low into his body. Not a bad throw, though.
Yeah, the coverage is so loose on both corners that he just, he takes his pick on which corner he's going to throw the little quick to.
28 seconds to go, third quarter. Play clock at 15. Brees out of the gun, throws right, wide open, caught by Willie Snead, and he'll drag a Raider all the way into Raider territory. Dropped on the 38-yard line, first down. Again, he dragged Reggie Nelson the last few yards. So the Saints will have it in Raider territory when we start the fourth quarter here, as Drew Brees is just doing that Drew Brees thing. You cannot stop him. Empty set, quick game, great feet, great accuracy, and he's just carving the Raiders up right now. At the end of 3 quarters from the New Orleans Superdome, the Saints lead the Raiders 24-13. As we start the final 15, they go into a pistol now. Brees with Ingram behind him, in cut, and it's caught on the ricochet. DJ Hayden played that perfectly. The ball was not thrown well, Tom. It was thrown too much inside. Hayden tipped the ball, and Michael Thomas still caught it.
Yeah, sure did.
Wow.
They're hot today, boy, I tell you. That time, yeah, Hayden played that perfect.
And DJ read it because he knew it was coming. He was sitting right there in position, but as you mentioned, perfect throw and a good catch.
And again, DJ is playing as an outside corner. The Raiders have benched Sean Smith out of a gun run. Here comes Mark Ingram running into his center, Max Unger, as he came hopping in. New Orleans went into a pistol formation on the first play of the fourth quarter. Drew Brees is just on point today, 23 of 32 for nearly 340 yards passing already, and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Just been a Raider tormentor since Link played for the Raiders his first 5 years in San Diego with Marty Schottenheimer and LT and O'Neal in that bunch. He's beaten the Raiders 8 of 10 times as a starter and 7 in a row. Now Brees in the shotgun, 3rd down and 5. Brees low snap from center, looks right, throws right, and it is through the hands of Kobe Fleener, his new tight end, incomplete. The Raiders able to break that up. Nice coverage there from the secondary. Keith McGill, Tom, making the start at strong safety on the coverage there of Kobe Fleener. McGill has played a superb game today.
Yeah, he sure has. Well, he can run, and he can run with, with just about any tight end with his speed and size.
A little bit of a surprise today. Keith McGill, who began training camp as your 3rd string strong safety behind Carl Joseph, has not stepped on the field today. Dewey McDonald was actually traded to the Seahawks on cutdown day. Here's Will Lutz with a 50-yard field goal just inside the right hash mark. Plenty of leg, and Lutz from 50
no good.
Is no good. The guy they just signed this week and decide to cut Kai Forbat, and that'll hurt the Saints, obviously. Right Raiders take over, Tim, on their 40 following the missed field goal. Down 24-13, Derek Carr in the shotgun. Taiwan Jones, they fake the toss to him. It's a bubble to Amari Cooper. A block out in space. A flag came in. The Raiders blocking the back there, Link, on the bubble.
I don't know if they're going to get that or a holding, possibly. It is a...
There's going to be a offensive pass interference on the Raiders. They were blocking while the ball was in flight. Here's our referee, John Perry.
Pass interference, offense number 15.
Crabtree again.
10-yard penalty, replay. First down.
You can't do that. 10 yards down the field, you're blocking. The ball's not in the air yet.
Well, it's a bubble screen, so he's trying to block for it.
Yeah, but it's a delayed bubble screen.
Raiders have got to get going here offensively. They had 99 yards of offense in the third quarter. Derek Carr, 18 of 28 for 208. Latavius Murray, 12 carries, 51 yards. Now the Raiders bring in Jalen Richard. They sub late here. Now Richard leaves the field. He was in. Now he leaves. They bring in Latavius Murray as the lone back. Raiders first down and 20. Back on their 30-yard line. Derek, a straight drop. Murray into block. Now releases out. Carr has him, but he throws up the left sideline. Wide open. Amari Cooper's got it in New Orleans territory and down on the Saint 27-yard line. They lost him there. Jarris Byrd pulled the ball out at the end, saying Amari fumbled. They didn't call that, though. Raiders have the ball still. 43-yarder, Tom. Looked like he found a late hole in the cover two down that left sideline.
Yeah, great awareness by Derek Carr on that one because he wasn't even looking that way, but once he had great protection. He had plenty of time to look the whole field over, and then he found Coop.
There was a cover two. P.J. Williams, the corner, dropped him and then tried to scramble back. Derek found the hole down that sideline of the cover two. First and 10. They fake the gun run to Murray. Carr down the middle, caught. Crabtree breaks a tackle and dives down to the 1-yard line. They'll put him down on the 2-yard line. Well, they hit him with big plays back to back. Amari Cooper followed by Michael Crabtree. Let's see if the Raiders go no huddle here. First and goal to go on the 2. They're going to snap it fast. Derek back up on the ball. Claps his hands 3 times. Snap the ball, Hudson. Murray to his left. Slot right. Derek Carr takes it. Throws a ball. No, back corner of the end zone for a jump ball. Out of bounds. Amari Cooper. I thought he was throwing the bubble to Crabtree on the right side, Tom, but they threw a back of the end zone old school fade route there to Amari Cooper. And just could not get either foot in bounds there. He got maybe one down, but that was it. Raiders have reached the Buffalo Wild Wings red zone. Buffalo Wild Wings has crafted your ultimate football fantasy for game day. It's kickoff, so head to Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Second and goal to go. Raiders on the New Orleans 2. Jameis Alawale, the lone back here. Andre Holmes comes in tight motion. They give it to the fullback, Alawale. Touchdown! Raiders! And they're right back into the game. The short yardage and goal line runner will be Jameis Alawale, Link. Powered off the left side. They brought the big blocking receiver, Andre Holmes, in tight. And he ran right over a tackler on the 1-yard line to take the Raiders into the end zone.
And that was behind, Link, that was behind our new left offensive line.
That's exactly right. You know what? That's what I wanted to see. And, speaking, guys, you should have had that to begin with.
Raiders are going for 2 here.
Yeah.
Here's a big 2-pointer to make this a field goal game. It's 24-19. You go for 2 to make it 24-21. Carr in the gun. Slot right. Lee Smith, Tom, is the outside guy, the big tight end of the numbers. What's up with that? Crabtree inside the slot. Seth Roberts a left wing. Amari outside left. Now they move Lee Smith in motion as a right wing. Carr fakes the gun run. Roberts on a drag. Not there. Carr plants and throws back in the end zone. Broken out by Kenny Vaccaro. They were trying to go to Seth Roberts on the drag, and the Saints took it away.
Yeah, it took too long. They covered it pretty well. It took too long.
So the Raiders get 6. Not 8, not 7. Play was designed to go to Seth Roberts. They dragged the receiver from the slot. And the Saints just rolled up enough to force Derek to come to his secondary target. Crabtree in the back of the end zone, but Kenny Vaccaro, the safety, rolled over and knocked it away. But the Raiders are right back into the game now. Now looming large. Raiders down 5. Janikowski will sky kick this outside the numbers right. Murphy, 10, 15, 20. Pulled by Johnny Holton and pushed forward. The pile is still going forward all the way out nearly to the New Orleans 30-yard line. And he's up to around the 28-yard line. Johnny Holton is fast. He got down there in kickoff coverage. But Murphy was able to make that a pretty good return after Janikowski. Clearly, Tom, the Raiders are not going to, he's not going to have touchbacks anymore this year. They're going to kick it high in the field of play and try to tackle these returners inside the 20, inside the 15. But they've had a lot of good kickoff returns
Well,
today.
that one didn't have much hang times. That was the reason. That got to the kicker, or the kick returner, a lot quicker than the Raiders wanted it.
Right, Brees is going in the empty set again. They're going to fling it around. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Brees back, gun, looks, deep shot, left sideline, flag down. The Raiders going to call. They ran the back out of the backfield, and Malcolm Smith going to get called for a PI on the
illegal contact
route of Traverse Cadet. A PI or a holding?
It's going to be illegal contact.
Well, that'll be only a 5-yard penalty, not a spot penalty. We'll see what they call here. I think it may be a pass interference. As John Perry, our referee, it's a pass interference.
Number 53.
On Malcolm
First
Smith.
down, spotted a foul.
Well, they got what they wanted by having a linebacker on their running back. So yeah, that's what Drew Brees has been looking to, and he did a little out and up move right there.
That's what the empty set does, Tom. It's basketball. It's football on grass. It's like basketball on grass. All these eligible receivers, again, they go empty. Nobody in to block. Well, if you bring pressure here, Link, they don't have any way to block it. There are a lot of teams, when they get an empty set, they automatic blitz. You may have to do something here because he's just picking you apart.
Well, you got to pick your poison, who you're going to go with, either Malcolm Smith or Heaney, because right now, there's a mismatch on somewhere with having a linebacker core in there.
They got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Brees hits his back foot. Here comes pressure, throw middle, caught by Kobe Fleener, hit by Malcolm Smith, and Jihad Ward dropped on the Raider 42-yard line. That time they tried to bring a little pressure, Tom, but he's so decisive in where he wants to go with the ball. It's a matchup game. He just gets the ball out quick. That time he did get pounded, though, as he released the ball. Bruce Irvin hit him right. That was a facial shot, straight on.
Yeah, he gets rid of the ball quickly, and he always finds a short guy to go to. He's just uncanny that way.
Now he's moving people around. Kobe Fleener lines up as a right wing. Mark Ingram is in. Brees in the gun, but he has Ingram to his left on 2nd down. He'll throw again. He's going up the left sideline. A big ball. Flag again on the Raiders. And it's 2 pass interference calls on. Neither ball was completed. It's on DJ Hayden. Just running a 9 route down the sideline to Brain and Cooks.
They're going to call DJ Hayden on an arm bar.
Defense number 45.
First set 45, it's 25. Yeah. What are you to say, Link?
They're what the field judge is calling is on an arm bar. Before DJ got his head around to find the ball, he put his arm out to block the receiver's progression, and they're going to call that every time.
What do you think, Tom?
Whoa.
Boy. Sean Smith got benched today. His performance so poor and the deep shots, and now they're picking on DJ Hayden. There's a run to Ingram. Pops middle. Keith McGill hits him. Nobody tackles Ingram. He's all the way to the Raiders' 7-yard line. Oh, they had him wrapped up, it looked like, McGill, but nobody would put him on the ground. And the Saints are inside the 10-yard line. The Saints have reached the Buffalo Wild Wings red zone. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. Sloppy tackling, Link.
Well, you got so many of the Raiders trying to go and get the ball out, they forget to tackle the man.
1st and goal to go, New Orleans on the Raider 8-yard line. Brees in the gun. There's a gun run to Ingram. Starts left, comes back right. Raiders played that well. Pushed him back the other way. Drew Brees has been in the shotgun almost all day. Hardly ever under center. Just a little bit here and there, Tom. He just loves it in the gun. Just a great player.
Yeah, he's a great competitor, and he's a wise veteran. I mean, he's seen it all. So he's your coach on the field, and he can move people around. And not too many quarterbacks in this league right now, with all the young ones we have, can do that.
37 years of age. They just signed him to an extension, a 1-year extension for over $24 million. He'll make $44 million this year. Next year, Brees out of the shotgun. Gets blitzed, and this time he got out of the sack. Way back, and he'll throw the ball back towards the end zone. Did he get it back to the line? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he got it just barely back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like they had him sacked there. Bruce Irvin again got through.
Well, but Malcolm Smith was the first one to get through, untouched in the offensive line, and just could not bring him down.
Yeah, it was Malcolm who came out an A-gap blitz, Tom, and they had him around the waist, and he just slipped it.
Yeah, you got to make that tackle. You got to make that tackle. I mean, you're in there clean, and come under control, make the tackle.
3rd down and goal.
Saints
6-yard line.
Saints in heavy formation.
And now the Raiders sub out late. They bring in Stacy McGee to play an end. Big play here. You hold him to a field goal, and you're still within 8. A touchdown, you're down 2 scores. Cooks goes in motion. Brees going to roll left. Brees going to keep it and dive. That was a quarterback sweep with Drew Brees. He did not make it. They brought Cooks in the motion link coming to the right. He faked the handoff on the jet sweep, and they ran Drew Brees on a sweep.
I just got to say, it should have been delayed game. The umpire, the backfield judge, pulled his flag out and never threw it in the air. It should have been delayed game.
Well,
that
that's a
clock
good
was
thing
zero.
that it wasn't. Was that a busted play? It almost looked like he was going to hand off to Ingram link.
Well,
I'm not sure that was a design quarterback sweep.
It was a busted play.
They're going for it, Tom.
Yeah.
4th down and goal to go on the 2. I think he was supposed to hand that to Ingram. Where's the play clock? They got to call timeout here. Play clock at 5-4. They're huddling up. They'll have to call a timeout as we have a monumentally important play coming up here with 8:46 to play in the game. So it'll be a 4th and goal for Brees and the Saints on the Raider 2-yard line.
And they're going for the field goal now.
They are.
Yep.
All right. And they're going to bring on Will Lutz here to make it an 8-point game. It'll make it 27-19 if he makes it, so the Raiders could still tie the game with a touchdown of the 2-point conversion. So that missed field goal by Lutz earlier, huge. And Lutz went to camp with the Baltimore Ravens this year, and he came in for a workout and just blew Sean Payton away, and they signed him as the kicker, and they let Kai Forbath go. This will be a chippy field goal. This will be like an old school extra point. Not the new 33-yard extra point. This will be a 20-yard field goal. He is a right-footed kicker from the left hash mark. This to make it 27-19. Their longtime snapper, long snapper Justin Drescher will snap. Their punter, Thomas Morstead, will hold for the new kicker they just brought in on Tuesday. Will Lutz out of Georgia State. Chippy. Good snap, good hold. They blocked the kick.
Still went through.
And it went through. The Raiders, who had 4 block kicks last year, blocked it right in the middle of the front.
Great penetration.
And still, Lutz was able to get it past the block and over the crossbar and good.
Yeah, great penetration by Danico Autry and those guys, and he got those big clubs up. And as you mentioned,
it
was Danico. He got that big club up and had a block on it, but the momentum of the ball just carried it through the uprights.
And the Raider deficit is 8, but they can still tie the game. Tywan Jones wanted to come out, but he'll stay in the end zone. He was 4 or 5 yards deep. He said at 5 yards, they got to make a decision, and he decided to stay in. So the Raiders will take it on the 25-yard line, down 27-19. So plenty of time, Tom. 8:42 to play. Raiders have all 3 timeouts to go. New Orleans only has 1 timeout remaining. Raiders have injuries on the offensive line. Alessio Semele has had to go from left guard to left tackle. Donald Penn from left tackle to right tackle. John Feliciano at left guard. Rodney Hudson at center. Gabe Jackson at right guard. Wow. Derek Carr with Jalen Richard to his left in the shotgun. They're showing blitz. Here they come with a slot corner. Harris. Quick throw off his back foot up in the air. Broken up by Kenny Vaccaro. Beautifully. Ball had to hang in the air, Tom. He was going to Andre Holmes with the blitz in his face and just hung it up in the air too long where Vaccaro, the strong safety, could come over and knock it away. He met Holmes right when the ball hit his hands and popped him.
Yeah, he had to get rid of that really early because there was a blitzer coming off the right side, and he wasn't. I don't think Derek was sure if he was going to be blocked or not.
And that was Devontae Harris, the blitzer. The Raiders ran a fake bubble to Amari Cooper. They wanted to go down the sideline. Hand off to Jalen Richard. Straight ahead. Back pedals in the hole. Breaks free. 40. He may go. He's gone. One guy can catch him. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown! Raiders! Jalen Richard goes 75 yards. Wow!
Wow, he's right.
And that is great offensive line play, mano a mano, everybody up front, including Seth Roberts, that really broke him on the second level. Wow. Great blocking by the Raiders that time.
Yep.
Jalen Richard is from here, Alexandria, Louisiana. What a moment for the young man as he ran straight ahead under center. kind of got sideways and had to backpedal a little bit, then popped it. Vaccaro took a terrible angle, so did Jarius Byrd, the safety. The Raiders got to go for 2 now to tie this game at 27. 27-25, New Orleans. We got our shootout. Now they break the huddle. Play clock at 20, plenty of time. Derek Carr goes in the gun. Jalen Richard will stay in after a 75-yard run. To the right of Carr. Amari Cooper singled up right. Slot left, Roberts inside of Crabtree. Just to tie the game. Derek fakes the handoff to Richard, throws for Cooper. Catch, goal line. Did he get it over? Yes.
Yes.
He's got the 2-point conversion. He caught it right on the goal line, being pushed back there by P.J. Williams, but he was able to break the plane to the goal line, secure the ball to the ground, and the Raiders have tied the game at 27. New Orleans grew up in Alexandria, Louisiana, about 200 miles away. Went to Peabody Magnet High School in Alexandria, and he just goes 75 yards. And the Raiders have tied the game. Here's the kickoff. Murphy from the 2-yard line right. Hit by Jameis Alawale around the waist. Breaks that tackle, but Darren Bates, Johnny Holton will jump on him and drop him at around the 15-yard line. And the Raiders come roaring back. And Will Lutz missed 50-yard field goal time has really flipped this game. And the Raiders have been able to explode as Richard punctured the second level and got into the secondary and was running for a touchdown. He was looking up at the massive new scoreboards here at the Superdome to see who was trailing him, and he just ran by everybody. Nobody got near him again. T.J. Carey is in again as a nickel. The Raiders are benching Sean Smith. Going after D.J. Hayden they are now. Michael Thomas goes over him. 8:20 to play in the game. New Orleans and the Raiders tied at 27. Drew Brees in the shotgun as Mark Ingram to his left. Brees takes the snap from center and Max Unger. Cox throws, going at DJ again. He bumped him again. Another flag on the Raiders. DJ Hayden picks up another pass interference penalty. Thomas clearly he hit Thomas when the ball was in the air.
Yeah.
Pass interference, defense number 25. Automatic first down, spot of the foul.
The Raiders had back-to-back plays on the last drive. A pass interference on Malcolm Smith for 23 yards. A 17-yarder on DJ Hayden. Just a simple double move, but he's just banging the receiver, Thomas, Link, when the ball is in the air. It's obviously beyond 5 yards. You can't do that.
Drew Brees is purposely going after him and testing him. He's going to take it every single time.
Raiders 13 penalties. There's a gun run to Ingram. As Drew Brees in the shotgun, Ingram to his left, ran a slant to the right. The Raiders have 13 penalties now for 126 yards. And most of them have been on the secondary. And the pass interference calls have just been humongous. Rough day for the Raiders' new really built secondary. Sean Smith got benched after getting cooked repeatedly, including a 98-yard touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Second down, 6, New Orleans on their 31. 7:40 to play in the game. We're tied. Bunch formation left. Outside the left numbers. Ball on the right hash. Carr, or Brees back. Time. Sidesteps the rush. Throws big. Caught. Willie Snead inside the Raider 30. Fumbled the ball when he went down. And it's picked up by the Saints. Michael Thomas runs it inside the 5-yard line. What happened there? Did he catch that ball the whole way?
He did, but he's got to call him down.
They're going to put him down, I think, on the Raider 23. Willie Snead, Tom, I wanted Drew Brees' patented seam routes.
Yep.
Just went right up the left seam, caught it over the shoulder, and then as he was tackled down, he did catch the ball 1-2. DJ Hayden hit him. The ball went down, and then it was recovered by the receiver, Michael Thomas. So where are they going to spot this ball? They're going to call him down by contact?
Down by contact.
Yes.
The ball will be placed near the goal line.
No. Near the goal line?
No.
The 23-yard line. They're not going to call Snead down by DJ's hip check, Link?
This back judge is absolutely awful.
They got to challenge this.
They got to challenge it. Because
DJ Hayden's contact knocked Snead down, Tom. That's a tackle. But then he fumbled the ball. Did he lose the ball before he hit the ground?
I don't think so, because they were whistling down initially.
Are the Raiders going to challenge this, Link?
No. I say challenge.
Well,
They're going to put it on the 2-yard line?
But
if you challenge, it's back on the 23.
But don't they automatically review this?
No, it was not a turnover. You have to challenge that. And will the Raiders challenge is the call. Timeout called. Well, the Raiders are going to burn a timeout just to get their goal line defense in.
Well, right now, Del Rio's calling upstairs to see if
Well, you
anybody
know
saw
what?
the
You
ball
didn't
come
need to call a timeout. You should have this challenge, too. It doesn't matter. Now you may lose both. You have the timeout, and then you also lose the challenge. So you lose two. Yes, you should have this challenged. He may not want a challenge. Let's pause 10 seconds as they sort this out for station identification. Listening to Compass Media Networks. This is the NFL.
Wow.
Well, Jack Del Rio was talking to John Perry. John Perry has walked over to the New Orleans sideline to talk to Sean Payton now. The Raiders did not challenge. They merely called a timeout. You could have served both purposes by just challenging. Now if you challenge and it's not overturned, you lose that timeout. Hold on, John Perry saying incomplete here. What's going on? He's walking away from Sean Payton. I think he's going to get on the mic here and give us a new announcement. No, he's not. He's going to wind the clock, and it's 1st and goal to go on the 2-yard line. Nothing happened. I don't know how the hell they could give Snead the yard after he was hip checked down by DJ Hayden. He must have lost the ball as he was going to the ground and was never contacted down. They flex out Kobe Fleener. Bruce Irvin's on Kobe Fleener. Do you want that matchup? They're going to the goal line. Touchdown to Traverse Cadet on the outcut. Wow. They went at Malcolm Smith. First of all, you had Irvin against their tight end, Tom, flexed out. Raiders have had some strange alignments on goal line defense today.
That was a gimme.
But then Cadet ran from the slot on an outcut, and Malcolm Smith got picked by his own guy.
That was a gimme.
New Orleans is back up by a touchdown.
Totally inept coverage. Totally.
Link, did you ever get an idea what was going on that play? Did they rule that Snead lost the ball before he hit the ground?
No, because the way the back judge had signaled is that he was initially down, and then he was in doubt. He was confused when he saw that New Orleans recovered the ball. Because I honestly believe that he put the blue bag down.
So why didn't the Raiders challenge it? The timeout there's no point to call the timeout, just challenge it.
Well, you know, up on the board it says the Raiders still have 3. Did the Saints call that timeout?
No, the Raiders did.
Okay. Well,
no,
the board has the Saints with no timeouts and the Raiders with 3.
No, the Saints did.
They did call that timeout?
Yeah, they did.
But Del Rio was asking the people upstairs if they could tell if the ball was out before he threw the challenge flag. And of course, the referee came over and said, do you want to challenge? Do you want to challenge? Del Rio says, I'm still checking.
They did not challenge. So the extra point was made by Will Lutz, and the Raider deficit is 34-27. Well, they're just gashing the Raiders, Tom. They're picking on DJ Hayden.
Well, that was
Snead in the slot.
But that was two linebackers out there covering.
And that's in the seam route.
Yeah, I mean, 2 linebackers covering, and
right after the Raiders tie the game. 3 plays, 84 yards. DJ gets called for a PI. The huge ball to Snead, and then the touchdown to Cadet. So they go 84 yards in 3 plays after the Raiders tied the game. But once again, U.S. Open weekend, Derek Carr, it's your serve to come back and try to tie here.
Well, you know Drew Brees isn't going to try to dink and dank you. He's going to run all goes all the time. And that's exactly what he did on that last play to get that big play down to the goal line.
Well, there's so many matchups he likes, Tom. He can go wherever he wants.
Yeah.
Here's Lutz to kick off. It's a low one. This is returnable. Taiwan comes way over to his left. He wanted to come out of the end zone, but the ball, even though it was low, he had to go so far over to catch that line drive. It just took too long for him to merely catch it. He wanted to come out 1 yard deep. I think he made the right call.
Well, he was very close.
Absolutely.
He was very close to putting his foot on that line. That was very close.
He was lurching, but yeah, he did. That left foot, the right foot came close.
I'm telling you.
He stayed in. He was not out. He was not out. 25-yard line. So 6:03 to play. I guess the Raiders have all 3 timeouts left, and New Orleans has none left. So it was the Saints who called that timeout. Raiders have Latavius Murray in a single back, but they also have Jameis Alawale lining up as a right wing. Crabtree comes in motion right, heavy right. Murray, and they're going to give it to him. Cunning back left. Good hold. 30, 35, gets hit low and dropped there. But a good run, Link, as he weaved that back. That was a design cutback. He started right and cut back left to pick up about 10 or 11 there.
Raiders very fortunate that the Saints broke down and stunned it towards the other way, because really Alawale couldn't get off of the initial line of scrimmage to get his block. It wasn't well blocked, but it was well executed by Latavius Murray, just make it up and get some yards where he could.
The Raiders bring in 2 tight ends, Clive Walford and Lee Smith. Michael Rivera inactive today. Latavius Murray to the right, or pardon me, is that Tywan Jones or Murray? Carr in the shotgun, and this Murray to his right. Here's Carr stepping up, throwing, caught. Clive Walford, first down to the Saint territory. Beat Jarris Byrd on the in-cut there for a gain of 18 yards. Here come the Raiders again. Tom trying to tie this game. Back up on the ball with 5:05 to play. Plenty of time. They're going to sub out everybody. Murray, Alawale, Walford, all come out. Jalen Richard, after scoring the game-tying 75-yard touchdown run, is in. Single back. They go to a bunch formation left. Seth Roberts tight left, just outside of Osemele playing left tackle. Lee Smith, Crabtree behind. They single up Amari Cooper against P.J. Williams right. It's a run to Richard. Big hole. Makes a man miss, crawling in space. Another good run. Boy, he is shifty. He is showing more quickness in this game, Tom, than we saw in the 2 preseason games, and making that one unblocked defender miss in the hole.
Yeah. Well, he's finally probably getting healthy and playing more.
And an arthroscopic procedure on a torn meniscus right before the preseason started, Lincoln. You can see how quick he is on this field turf.
And more importantly, he's taking advantage of the Saints slanting out of position.
He got 8 on that carry. 2nd and 2 Raiders. We have 4 minutes to play in this game. Raiders inside the Saint 40-yard line trying to tie it. Derek Carr hands off to Murray, and he gets wrapped up around the waist and thrown for a loss. Stephon Anthony, their former middle linebacker turned Sam linebacker, led them in tackles a year ago, just got through there, Lincoln, and was able to stuff that for a tackle for loss. And now it's 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Raiders.
Well, Big Nick Fairley was the one who had initial penetration, allowed the linebacker to be able to shoot the gap. The Raiders got to block the line of scrimmage, block the second level as well.
And not quite in 4-down territory, Tom. You have 3 timeouts left, plus a 2-minute warning, but you'd like to convert this 3rd down. Carr in the gun, 2 receivers right, Cooper left. Now they empty the backfield. Murray goes out right, watched by the middle backer, Laurinaitis. They rush forward, they twist, quick throw out left, incomplete, off the hand. Flag came in late. Flag came in late on New Orleans. Going to be a hold on the Saints here. 1st down Raiders. Big call. Here's John Perry, our referee.
Prior to the pass, holding defense, number 25.
P.J. Williams.
Penalty, 1st down.
Against Amari Cooper.
Raiders very, very fortunate at that time, because Derek Carr threw that ball before Amari got his head turned around. Very fortunate. That's why Amari barely missed the ball.
P.J. Williams grabbed the back of his black jersey, Tom, in the outcut. Didn't need to do it. That's a rookie mistake. P.J. Williams, actually 2nd-year player, but he didn't play at all last year. He was out IR with a hamstring injury. 1st and 10 Raiders on the New Orleans 36-yard line. There's a run straight ahead. Jalen Richard. This time they stack it up. Cameron Jordan, their 2-time Pro Bowler, by way of Cal Berkeley, was able to turn that back inside. He's not only a premier pass rusher, Jordan plays the run really well, and he turned that inside and made the tackle himself. Clock rolling now. 3 minutes to play in the game. The Raiders do have all 3 timeouts. They are 35 yards away from a touchdown. They're down 7, trying to tie this game again. Carr in the under center now. Long time at the line here. Play clock at 10. Murray the lone back. Loose bunch formation right. Cooper left. Derek straight drop. They blitz. He's under siege. Throws the ball up, and it is caught by Crabtree. Breaks a tackle. Tries to power through Jarris Byrd for a 1st down. He got it. He's got the Raider 1st down on the New Orleans 23-yard line.
Yeah, great effort by Carr and great effort by Crabtree once he caught the ball. Just a great effort by Carr in getting rid of the ball and completing it.
The Raiders may want to take this down to the 2-minute warning now. In fact, Derek has already broken the huddle. He's walking over to the sideline. So they're going to run this down to the 2-minute warning. So here we go. 2 minutes to play on opening day in New Orleans. And the Raiders are 23 yards away with an extra point to follow from tying this game. Wow, we've reached the 2-minute warning in New Orleans. Saints 34, Raiders 27. Raiders trying to tie the game here. The extra point just snuck in the right upright. That game is tied at 27. Raiders trying to tie the Saints here. 2 minutes to go. 34-27 New Orleans. Raiders on the Saint 23-yard line. Derek Carr under center. Jalen Richard, the lone back. Crabtree goes in long motion, followed by the corner Harris. Carr, straight drop, pump, throws, right sideline wide open. Murray's out of bounds. Did he catch it? He's out of bounds. He had it. He got behind it. It was there. And it was Clive Walford. Clive Walford, not Latavius Murray. They ran a wheel route. It looked like time and out and up. Boy, you got to hit that one. He was wide open. You got to hit that.
Well, that was a poor pass. Pass took him out of bounds.
And he's backpedaling out of bounds as well. That should have been a touchdown link to tie the game.
Yeah. As the coach mentioned, he's backpedaling, trying to and a poor pass.
Play clock at 12 as the Raiders break the huddle. Second down. Carr under center. Murray the lone back. Play clock at 5, 4, 3, 2. They get it off. Derek, blitz comes, picked up by Murray. Carr throws middle, dropped. Seth Roberts had it on the 5-yard line and dropped it. Had it.
Wow.
Had it. Seth won 2 games last year late against Baltimore and against the Titans on the road. He had that one. That time they blitzed. The nickel corner, Devontae Harris. Latavius Murray picked up the blitz. Carr delivered the ball right in the middle. Seth Roberts, time flat out dropped it.
Yeah, that's two balls that should have been caught, or 2 balls that should have been completed, let me say that. One was a poor pass, one was a drop.
That one would have been on the 5-yard line. The one to Walford would have been a touchdown. 3rd down and 10. You're in 4-down territory. Carr in the gun. Murray to his right. Crabtree out wide right. Cooper out wide left. Derek takes it. Murray releases out. Carr under siege, runs away from Kruger, running to his right. He's going to run it and get out of bounds. He got hit on the right. Any flag come in there?
No flag.
They hit the quarterback link on the apron. No flag. He does stop the clock with 1:41 to play in the game. And now you got a 4th down. So here it is for you. 4th down, you got to go for it here. Raiders do have 3 timeouts. Would you ever kick a field goal here, Tom? And then you do have 3 timeouts left.
Yeah, but we
don't have to go for this.
We haven't been able to stop them. You got to worry about that, too.
4th down for the Raiders. 4th down. They have to get to the New Orleans 13. They're on the Saint 18. Carr, shotgun. Has time, steps up, throws, and it's broken up, out of bounds, incomplete. Flag came in. They're going to get a PI, I think a face guard there on Craig Robertson, the linebacker. He never turned around to play the ball, and he was bumping Jalen Richard. The Raiders get a call from the governor. That should be a 1st down. Raiders.
Interference, defense number 52.
Whoa.
Automatic 1st down.
Big call.
The only thing you have to hope that they don't think this was uncatchable. The ball was out of bounds.
Well, he did get a hand on it, so.
Okay. I didn't see that part.
He got a little tap on it.
Now, face guarding is legal in the NFL. He never turned around for the ball. Did Robertson run through Jalen Richard's arms there?
Did. He ran him off out of bounds.
So it's a 1st down on 4th down. Raiders are on the New Orleans 13-yard line. 97 seconds to go in the game. Raiders have all 3 timeouts left. You can run the ball. Richard in the gun. To the right of Carr in the shotgun. 2 are left, Cooper right. Richard circles out. They're going for Richard over the middle. Makes the catch, but he got buried immediately by Craig Robertson, who's their best coverage linebacker. Raiders have timeouts left. One of the linemen slow to get up, Link.
Donald Penn's slow to get up. He's just more frustrated. He's not hurt. He got beat on a very simple move, and he's frustrated about it.
The Raiders are going to let the clock work down a little bit, Tom, here. You want to tie the game and not give Drew Brees any time to come back and beat you. So they're going to work the clock. They do huddle up here.
You got all your timeouts.
Yep, you have plenty of time. Really, it's just a down now. 2nd down for the Raiders. 2nd and 7 on the 10. Well, they huddle a long time. Jack Del Rio, I think, is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, I think so.
He's going to take the play clock down to 1 and then call a timeout. 2-1 timeout Raiders, which will stop the game clock now with 52 seconds to go. What you're doing here, you don't want Drew Brees to have any time to come back and win this football game. What a game it has been. Opening day in the National Football League, brought to you in part by the National Association of Realtors. Whether you're buying or selling, get every advantage you can get Realtors. We are here at the home of the Saints since 1975, and they moved out of Tulane Stadium, Tom, a stadium you know well, into the Superdome here in 1975. What a state-of-the-art facility it's been. This stadium has hosted 7 Super Bowls and 5 Final Fours. Of course, they had the Super Bowl here between the 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. That came down to Michael Crabtree on the 5-yard line 3 different times. There goes Crabtree back in the stadium. He's in between the 3 receiver side. Lee Smith inside, Crabtree in the middle, Seth Roberts outside, Amari Cooper one-on-one with P.J. Williams. Carr in the gun. Carr looks left, throws, caught. Seth Roberts diving for the end zone. Touchdown! Raiders!
They're going for 2, guys.
They are going for 2 in the win. Wow. 34-33. Is Jack Del Rio going to go for 2 here,
He's
Link?
going for 2.
Wow.
It's already been signaled in. He's going for 2, like you guys said.
Win it or lose it right here.
Don't want to give Drew Brees the ball back. Don't want to give him a chance to make a difference. They're going for 2 right now.
Tom, wow. We saw John Gruden do this. Dick Vermeil do this. Has a Raider coach ever done this? Here we go. This is for a 2-point conversion to go up by a point. They break it. Cooper and Roberts go wide right slot. They empty it out, Tom. Alawale is out along with Crabtree. So it's a 2-by-2. Play clock at 10. Now they're going to motion Alawale back in. A timeout is being called here. Which side called it? They snapped the ball, but a timeout was called.
Called by the Raiders.
The Raiders called a timeout.
Yeah, New Orleans didn't have any timeouts left.
Yeah, you're right. Boy.
They could have.
So the Raiders
might want to think about it because New Orleans was definitely showing the blitz. They were definitely showing the blitz.
Well, the thing is, there's still 47 seconds to go. So even if you kick the extra point, Brees has time to come back and beat you. He'd have time to come back and beat you, even if you make the 2 to go up 35-34. But this is really gutsy, Tom.
Well, it is gutsy, yeah.
I mean, this is why the 2-point play was put in to avoid players playing so long into overtime. It was supposed to be just decided on a 2-point play, don't go to overtime. The coaches never used that. They're so fearful of one play to lose the game.
Well,
if you don't make this, you lose.
Yeah.
Very simply. And if you win it, if you make it, you're in a position to win. Carr in the gun. Roberts inside of Amari Cooper right. They're going to the same formation. They're going to motion Alawale to the left of Carr in the gun. A 2-pointer to go up by a point. Carr out of the shotgun. Looks left. Throws a lob for Michael Crabtree. He caught it! He caught it! He caught it! The Raiders have the lead! 35-34! Sweet revenge for Michael Crabtree. Inside the Superdome in New Orleans, where they gave him 3 shots to win the Super Bowl for the 49ers, and he couldn't do it. A flag is down.
They got a flag down.
Flag is down. They wouldn't dare call offensive PI here, would they?
Excessive celebration, I think, or taunting.
Yeah.
Well, that'll hurt on the kickoff.
Yeah, but that's not good.
No, it's not good.
They pointed initially to the Saints, guys. I'm waiting for clarification.
Crabtree fired the ball up. I think that's going to be on the Raiders here, Link.
On the field is a 2-point conversion. After the conversion, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 15.
Wow. Now you got to kick off from the 20-yard line.
Kickoff.
A field goal still beats you. You can't do that.
That's right. You couldn't do that. You can't do that.
You can't. And they're out of timeouts. This is Drew Brees we're talking about. The game was not over. Michael Crabtree on a jump ball there took it away from Ken Crawley, the rookie free agent corner from Colorado. He was so excited as Crabtree caught that all the way to the ground. But it was Crabtree, Link, that fired the ball. I'm not sure what they got. The Raiders were obviously all excited. Who wouldn't be? But then Crabtree threw the ball up, and was it the throw by Crabtree they called that out?
I think that's what it was, the throw of Crabtree, because you know it's illegal to throw the ball in the stands. So it didn't go in the stands from where I saw, but I guess just the action is what generated the penalty.
All right,
now
so
we'll
now
see how Seabass kicks this ball.
Now you got to kick off from the 20-yard line. So this is going to give them a tremendous drive start here.
Absolutely. I'm almost assured of a field goal try. Almost assured of it.
Will Lutz, their young kicker, who missed a 50-yarder earlier in the game, is now going to be on the spot. Drew Brees is talking to his 3 receivers right now. Brandon Cooks, the rookie Michael Thomas, and the slot receiver Willie Snead. And they're going to come right back at the Raiders and try to win this game. We said it would be a shootout. It is not disappointed. Marcus Murphy is back to return the kick. Janikowski will kick away from the 20. and he will blast it all he's got. Strong leg. Murphy get a back pedal, bobble it, but catch it on the 6, 10, 15, 20. Straight ahead, gets hit by Trawick and dropped. Good coverage there by the Raiders.
Great coverage.
They did a tremendous job.
Great coverage.
What a kickoff by Janikowski.
Whoa.
How far was that?
Wow.
From the 20, Link. I think Murphy caught that at around the 6-yard line. What, 74 yards in the air? What a kick. Well, Murphy backpedaled and caught it on the 6-yard line.
Well, Brad Seeley came over after that penalty, and he looked at Seabass, and he was like, you have got to kick the you-know-what out of this ball.
And he
that's
did.
Exactly what Seabass did.
Yeah, great coverage by Trawick. Trawick was down there like a jet.
All right, here we go now. Nate Allen is in, playing deep secondary along with Reggie Nelson and Keith McGill. 3 safeties are in. Here comes Drew Brees out of the shotgun. He's going to throw deep, down the middle, caught. Willie Snead, tackled by Malcolm Smith. The Saints have no timeouts left. Will they clock it? They're back up on the ball. 30 seconds, 29, 28, 27. They got to clock it. 26, 25. He may run a play here. He'll clock it. Took the snap from Unger, made sure everybody was set, and he spiked it. Stops it with 23 seconds to go.
You can't play that defense. You can't play that defense. You got to go with something else right now. Otherwise, he's going to get another 20 yards.
I tell you what, guys, I don't know what the defense is, but that time Bruce Irvin was caught in coverage trying to cover a slot receiver. They double-teamed Khalil Mack. Absolutely no pressure. It was too easy of a pitch and catch.
All right, from the 44-yard line now. Brees in the gun. 3 receivers left. Michael Thomas, the rookie from Ohio State, right against Amerson. Here's Brees back, time, throws middle, caught. What a catch there. Beautifully done by Willie Snead. They got to clock the ball. They're on the Raider 44-yard line. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. He clocks the ball with 9. They stopped it at 9. Well, they can run one more play now, and it's got to be an outcut. They're out of timeouts. Will Lutz, the field goal kicker, has got to be trembling. His first NFL game out of Georgia State. And he's lucky, missed one earlier from 50 yards away. Right now, they are on the Raider 43-yard line. So this field goal would be 61 yards away. They got to pick up 10 or 11 yards here on an outcut. They have to go out. They can't catch it in the field of play. Brees back, looking right, throwing to the sideline, incomplete. He went to Kobe Fleener, covered there by Ben Heaney. Now they have 5 seconds to go.
Now you got to go to the end zone.
Yep.
Or try a 61-yard field goal.
Yeah.
They're going to try a 61-yard field goal.
Yep.
Where's Tom Dempsey?
Well, this is the city where Tom Dempsey kicked his.
On the road, actually, in Detroit.
Well, this turf
was it here? It was here
soft.
at Tulane Stadium. You're right. It was here. Back in
Extremely
1970, 63-yarder, which was the
confusion by the Raiders. I don't know what they're doing.
They're bringing people on late here. You don't want to take a 5-yard penalty.
Well,
They don't have a defensive line out there.
time.
The Raiders don't have any other people on the field. How many people do they have on the field? 6?
Don't the Raiders have a timeout?
They don't have
yet?
enough players on the
That's
field.
what I'm saying.
Well, he's going to kick it away here. Play clock at 10. You got to call a timeout. Mass confusion on special teams. How many players?
Well, why they only had 7 players. They didn't have a defensive line out there.
This is the last play of the game. You got a timeout in your pocket. Use it.
They did.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so now they cannot ice the kicker. They almost iced themselves here. So it's coming down to one kick for Will Lutz. Again, at Georgia State, he was only 31 of 46 in his career. He was good inside the 40, not as good long. He worked out here this week, and shockingly, after what Sean Payton said was the best kicking workout he's ever seen. The velocity coming off the ball, he was so impressed they cut Kai Forbat and gave him the job. Right in the base of the fleur-de-lis here in New Orleans is Will Lutz.
Find Danico Autry, guys.
61-yarder. He blocked the last one. Pressure will snap. Morstead will hold. He's got it airborne. It is. He's got the distance, and it is no good. The Raiders have won the game. As Will Lutz missed a 61-yard field goal, and the Raiders get out of New Orleans. The Big Easy with a hard win, but they win on opening day.
What a game.
35-34 Raiders. Incredible. He had the distance, Lutz. Morstead got that ball around. He missed it wide left.
Not by much, guys. Not by much, but it's a miss.
I'll tell you one thing. The Raiders had some holes today. They did some things that were not very good, but they were courageous all the way. They
won the game.